What is going on in the true world? Steve, Dave, Insert Revolution Podcast, episode number 32, The Stimulus Effect. Once again, we've been graced with, at least here in the U.S., some a little more tinkering than the first two with the stimulus, a little more trying to think of the correct word, but it's not everybody. You got it's trimmed down a bit, but still a lot of folks are going to be getting it, me included. I'm sure Steve included.
Already got mine.
Sneak it above. A stack full there. That was today's transaction. So what up, Robert? What up, Paul? So does this generate more purchases? Does this continue a hot trend? You've seen some stuff cool off a little. Does it pick back up? It's not like you're getting the Publishers Clearinghouse grand a week or whatever for life, where you can sort of bank that and whatnot. But we'll talk about how this payout, which has propelled a lot of hobby sales, not the Jordan PSA 10s, not the Trout Super, not the 52 Mantle. Obviously, those are in different galaxies, but the low mid-end stuff to most of the Ken Golden buyers, the stuff that really isn't worth their time, but the stuff that really resonates with us, Steve and I, and then everybody else in the chat, and folks that the hangarounds that may not be in here, but the folks we follow, that the money's going to be possibly used for some hobby good, and we'll jump into that and talk about all that stuff as we go along tonight.
Yeah, because the topic can go multiple ways, regardless of who you talk to. It's interesting that, and then there's Vinny.
How you doing?
I at least was fair warned that you may be here. Dave sent you a link, and you and I have been talking not as much as what we normally do, but from that perspective, it's because work's been kicking your tail, which I completely understand.
And a wedding.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, our good buddy Uncle Vinny and his wife are planning their daughter's wedding. June?
Next week.
Is it already?
Next week. Yep.
Was I sleeping?
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Wow. Usually I do better with time frames.
Yeah. This went from 8 people to I think it's 48, just under the legal limit. So we're allowed gatherings of X amount of people. Mm-hmm. So we're at that limit. So, and the wife's done an excellent job of putting all this together. She's done all the work. I'm just here for whatever.
Sanity.
Probably not.
Trying to keep the peace, or trying. I said trying to keep the peace.
Yeah.
Hello, better half. It's good to see you. We've missed you over the last few weeks, but we understand. I can only speak from my past experience. My wife and I planned ours almost 11 years ago in August. And, we paid for the whole thing. But ours was a little bit different of circumstance, I guess. Wife swore up and down it was going to be the only one. We had our budget. And we move forward, right? But this was a freaking quick turnaround. Quick. And I didn't realize it was that quick. quick because I know we talked about it, Vinny, and it's one of those. It's like we talked about it in great length, but obviously, my days and months and weeks and everything else got completely bass backwards.
Yep, it's 4-3-2-1. It's one of those play on number dates, so you can never forget.
Which is cool.
Yep.
So everything's scheduled, everything's square. Now it's just,
She's working on the flowers up there now. Amazon just dropped off 2 crates of stuff, whatever that might be. So I was alerted by the hounds that there was visitors, and there they were. So button up everything right now.
So speaking of stimulus money, did you guys qualify for stimulus? Did y'all get to use any of this? Okay. No, well, that's unfortunate. Even with the kiddos?
Nope.
Wow.
Nothing.
I thought that was – I didn't realize – because I know that there's a monetary cap. I get that. But I didn't think that it mattered from a dependent perspective.
Yeah, I think it was changed at a point, and that's what disqualified us for the kid part. But
Gotcha. Well, that sucks. That would have been nice to have a little bit of extra to where it wasn't, dipping into the finances.
Yep.
Well, we won't thank you for that. That's not cool. But since we were talking about stimulus, it was one of those in which I thought I'd ask. But it's not a bad thing. That means you guys are doing well financially.
Yeah.
So, from that perspective, it's
been blessed to work through this whole thing. Both of us were deemed essential at the time when everything went down, and just keep on blowing through it.
Yep. My wife and I can also say the same. We've been very fortunate that we've worked the whole time. We do qualify, of course, though. Of course, our stuff is a little bit different, I guess, from that perspective. We're stashing ours away for a rainy day. So, yeah, it's past stimulus will be used at some point for when I send the stuff off, to grading. But for the most part, it's gone and stashed away for a rainy day. Yep. Because, you just never know these days, man. And trying to ensure that in the event that something does happen, we have a little something put back while, me or my wife, find a job if that were to happen. Yes, better half. I know. They're sitting here on my on the table. I gotta find my semi rigids.
I was looking today. They had a chart of, I think it was the Chrome LeBron. It was like this, and then it was like that. It had a huge dip. I think it lost half of its value in the last couple days.
Because he's hurt.
Yeah. And now it's on a little of an uptick.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy how injuries play into that so much across the board, it seems. You would think that, LeBron and the staying power that he has, you wouldn't see a substantial dip. But, at the same time, that could also mean people are focusing their funds elsewhere, though, too. So they're not paying the big money for that card.
Buy on the dip, as they say.
Yep. And before we get too much further, Dave.
Tap into the Rockies.
Yep. Back on the Rockies. My wife was she found a case when she went to the store. Normally, our Walmart doesn't keep Coors Light in the bottles by the case for whatever reason, or maybe it just so happens when she goes, they don't have any. But last time she went to the store, so it'll be will be brought to you by Coors Light for the next few weeks.
Unless you're on with Carlos for 7 hours or 6 hours, or be tapping into that.
Let's see. So I was on Friday night. I was on Sunday night. And here we are again on Tuesday night. I feel like Dave. Sunday wasn't bad. I mean, I jumped on for an hour.
Yeah.
But then we chit-chatted for an hour and 15 minutes after we cut the stream off. It was just Carlos, myself, and Bobby. And then Friday night, we talked, I guess, for another hour after the show was over. And by the time we all looked at what time it was, I'm like, oh, geez. I'm like, this is going to kill me. But it's all in good fun. All in good fun.
Yeah, when you said what time you guys all pretty much left, I'm like, you were within a stone's throw of me waking up for work. That's why that's just like, oh. And it's not that I don't want to stay, but you're wiped already from the day. Then he pops on, or he's like, oh, I'm going to be on special whatever.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. Special broadcast tonight or whatever. And it's just like, oh, okay. Get in there and get our good friend Justin back in there. And it's like, oh, I can. No,
Yeah, isn't that the truth, Carlos?
I don't need much, but I need.
Bye, everybody. I'm going to bed.
Good night.
Bye, baby.
I don't need one to sleep, but at the same time, I know I've gotten like a couple hours. I think when I went on, when was it? A couple Sundays ago. I think we got done at like 12:30 my time, and I think it was about 1:30 when I got out. So that's like 2 hours of sleep, and I'm like, nope. I've got to get more than 2. It can be less than 5, but it's got to be a lot more than 2. That didn't work that Monday or that Monday. I was just like struggling mightily.
Well, and that's, yes, we have other plans, but that's one of the main reasons why we're trying to limit, to the 3.5 hour mark. Things along those lines. But then, we usually chit chat afterwards for a bit on a couple things. And so I'm gonna pose the question to those who were here. So we already know Vinny is excluded, which means his better half is excluded. I've already told you what I'm doing with mine. I know it's not all great and wonderful. At some point, Dave, I'm sure you'll be able to add some details from your perspective. And we know from the Canadian perspective, unfortunately, you guys are not in the conversation, at least not that we're aware of. But anybody planning on using any or all on anything from the sports, sports related? I did see, I caught it briefly on Instagram that new Prism first off the line dropped a grant after old LaMelo got hurt and was potentially out for the year.
Went from 4K to 2K.
Yeah. Now that's first off the line, but I would think that the same thing would happen for, the regular base Prism. So, but yeah, I just thought that was interesting that it completely just bottomed out.
And I get where he's hurt. I get where Charlotte was semi-competing for one of those play-in, whatever, playoff games. This wasn't like they're the 1 seed in the East. He was having a solid year, a good year, and he got hurt. I mean, it happens. We're in such a fickle market, which I want to see, not to jump off that subject, but I want to see what Tatis stuff does with, because he hurt his shoulder today. So you want to talk about a market that has the potential to crater. That could be him. So I don't know. If it's a pitcher, I get it more so. But when you break your wrist, that happens. If it's the Paul George fracturing your leg, I get where that could be a little more serious. Where, like, man, a compound fracture, whatever, you're breaking your femur, fibula, tibula, whatever your leg bones are.
Whichever one it is.
Yeah. And you're a basketball player. That's serious. Again, like an elbow for a pitcher. Those are the ones that are the most disconcerting. But again, breaking your wrist. Do people even know that you can come back from that? It's not like he's gonna have half his arm amputated or whatever. But
Kobe played with a broken wrist years ago, so it can be done. From a baseball perspective, though, since it's still kind of early on, I wouldn't think it would impact it too much because we're not in the season just yet. For those people who are doing well, Ohtani, seems to be the talk of the town as of late. I could see his stuff, spiking a little bit in anticipation of him actually playing a whole season without injury, but who knows? But
yeah, his hobby was quote unquote dead. I heard across the land, 3 or 4 months ago, that he would never resurrect. I'm like, the guy's 27? While he might not put together a Hall of Fame career, he still might put the numbers up for the next 3 or 4 years to make him in the Hall of Very Good.
I think he'll be a Hall of Famer if he stays healthy. That's always a caveat.
Yep.
When he's on, I think when he's on his game, maybe not all around, his offensive game is maybe behind Curry, and that's it. I would take him above offensive-wise everyone else except probably Curry. And Giannis is a great player. I'd probably take his overall game above Durant, but his offensive game, Durant, when he is zoned in, he can pretty much get from nearly anywhere. Curry can, Durant nearly, and he's got a bevy of moves, and high, low, it doesn't matter. So it'll be interesting. Again, the fickle market, and I hope Golden doesn't have any big Tatis cards. Those are probably not going to realize their Ken Golden / Don West / Eddie Lewis potential shop at home style. So
unless they're 1-on-1s.
Well, yeah, then.
So it's the whatever he calls it, because the one that's going on now is is it the premium that's going on now? The one that runs through almost the middle of April or something. Pretty sure this is the big one, the big one, the once a quarter one that he does.
So the blue chip prospects from the old shop at home days. Is that
could be, but I know he has one that's once a quarter, and I want to say the one that's going on now is the once a quarter.
I thought that was the last one.
That was because they do the weeklies, They do one a month, and then they do like the big one that's once a quarter. And the Brady Contenders is number one, lot number one. So it's the heavy hitters. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there's a Honus in this one too.
The one he flew on a plane with?
I think so. I haven't gone to look what's all on there. He just now started posting stuff, ramping it all up. But there's some big cards in this one, I think.
By the way, I was talking about Otani. I thought you said Otani. I wasn't talking about Durant.
Oh.
I saw the Durant come afterwards. I'm not as versed in basketball, so I can't speak to that.
So, Ed, since you're just now showing up here, is it an 8, Carlos? I hadn't bothered to look. And maybe they're still waiting to do the quarterly auction thing, though, too. Because I want to say that I'm pretty sure he had alluded that the Honus was going to be in it. So, Ed, since you weren't in here earlier, we already started touching on the topic. Dave hasn't shared his yet. Vinny's was just as boring as mine. As far as that is concerned, we found out that somebody got a tax bill instead of a check, but that's the Canadian thing.
Poor Joe.
Are you? Is your plan to spend all, the majority on some things that you've been eyeing from the collection perspective? And we touched on briefly because, the running joke was, and I have to see if I can find this. I sent this to a few people. Ed, I don't know who else you may or may not have sent it to. I didn't send it to Dave because I figured you may have sent it to him. But So I'll read this to everybody. It looks like it's from the IRS. So for anybody who hasn't seen this, but it says payment status. We have redirected your payment of $1,400 to your local card shop. Please see your local card shop representative to receive your 2 packs of 2020-21 Panini Prism basketball. Let's be honest. This is where that money was going anyways. If you are a wife wondering how your husband managed to spend your child's college tuition on mostly NBA second-round rookie cards, click here to visit our partners at Card Addicts Anonymous. But since it brings up Prism, we had touched on it earlier, Ed, and not sure if you've been following it, but first off the line dipped 50%. It went from 4 to 2 after LaMelo got hurt. So, gotcha. So are you still planning on doing something with it? Well, I would think you would. I mean, you're kind of head of your household, unless you're making fat bank, which, if you are, more power to you, my friend. I wish I could say the same. But it's one of those in which you being, well, I want to say you being a hardcore collector, because I could say we're all hardcore collectors, but your collecting habits are almost as broad as Dave's. Not quite as broad as Dave's, but, getting close. Is there stuff that you've been eyeing, though, as of late in the event that you do happen to get it? Gotcha. Well, Mike, it's sometimes that's what you ultimately end up having to use stuff for. Fences aren't cheap.
No, they're not.
I mean, technically, we need to replace our back fence, but waiting for the shitty people behind us to initiate the quotes and everything else, because the posts are on their side. They're supposed to do all the work. They have ownership of the fence, technically. We're responsible for half, which we will gladly pay, but they need to get off their duff and start getting some work done before this damn fence falls over. And I let my dogs run crazy in their backyard.
I improvised. There was a chain link fence around everything. Then we constructed the privacy fence right around it. And
Well,
there was really no ownership of the chain link. No one laid ownership, so I just put up a fence around it.
What's up, Reese?
Yeah, it's one of those in which we got price quotes for just our back fence. It was $1,200, and that's a chunk of change. And per the bylaws in our homeowners association, we're required to pay half. Which, like I said, it's understandable. I get that. That's not my issue.
Mm-hmm.
But it also states, if you have the posts on your side of the fence, you're supposed to initiate the bulk of the work, as in calling companies, getting quotes, so on and so forth. If I end up doing it, guess what's happening? I'm swapping the damn thing, and the posts are coming on my side of the fence. Just saying. What's going on, Mason? So yeah, it's one of those in which I know it's not on the topic, but since somebody is using their stimulus money to fix their fence or replace their fence, it goes along with the conversation, because it isn't always card related, especially as you neglect things maybe. Like I said, we need to replace ours, but I'm waiting for them to do their part. They're not the most friendly people. And it may be one of those in which we have to do all the legwork. And my biggest concern is we'll pay for it and they won't give us our part. And there's nothing that the homeowners association can really do about it other than we can file a grievance. But it doesn't do anything. It's not like they can put a lien on their house for $600. If it was more, then yeah, there's that potential. But for $600, they're not going to jack with it. It's more paperwork than what it's worth. So, my wife has bought a few craft things to continue to decorate the house, but it's been minimal. I would love to use it solely on a few things.
That'd be nice.
Just throwing that out there. What I would love to be able to buy. I think I could come home with a grail or two, because I know where a couple of them are. But, it's not feasible at the moment. However, past stimulus will, like I said, take care of the grading stuff. At least the first go around, it will, depending on what happens. Then that money can pay for future submissions, which is what I'm hoping for at some point. So I keep going back and forth. I'm being overly selective, I guess. I'm even debating on using parish products to prep them. I don't know if you've seen them on Instagram, but sometimes they come up as sponsored posts. But they clean and prep cards.
Interesting.
For grading. and it's $5 a card, which isn't horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
But they, wipe down the surface. Obviously, they've, kind of perfected the art to a certain degree because other people have used them. They've got great reviews. It's not a guarantee that, you doing that, you're going to get a 10, but at least from a service perspective, you may have a little bit of some help.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got dimples and everything else, and of course it becomes irrelevant. You can't really do anything about dimples. So you always do your stuff online, Ed. Come on, man. Get into at least into the 90s. Okay, the 2000s.
Yeah, I could probably spend that within an hour. I'd say within an hour of time, I could probably blow through it. And I've already got some Dumba stuff lined up that I think I'm getting a good deal on. I wish the fucker wouldn't have sold the other stuff out from under me. That's what's one of the things that's had me in my rut, that I had a deal and the guy sold it from out from under me. And it was like some Cup Gold patch autos to 55, like 2 or 3 of them. A NT tag to 3, I think. 3 or 5. And then one other big one, maybe a gold regular auto to 25. And I'm just like, just boom, done. And I'm like, fucker.
I don't know, guys. Hold on. I have to come back.
Okay. Typical Bob. Well, so let's be real. We have property taxes here in the States. But the difference is if you own your house, you have to pay them.
Mm.
If you are still mortgaging your house, usually you escrow it. So you have an escrow account that part of your monthly mortgage payment, it puts in your taxes, or a certain amount is for your taxes, a certain amount is for your homeowner's insurance and stuff along those lines. So it then becomes their responsibility to cut that check and pay those bills when they're due. The only downside is it's all based on estimation. So if you have an escrow shortage, guess what happens the next year? Your mortgage payment goes up if you don't pay the difference. So, yeah.
So something just interesting, really, really interesting happened. That's why I got very distracted. Well, then there's Bob Lewis, which will distract us all.
That's what I'm here to do. Go ahead, Vinny.
So I was talking to Steve the other night, and they put an artist proof up for $300 on. The guy just sent me an offer for $2.
For $2?
I just accepted it and ran. Free shipping, $2.12. I don't know.
I think that was a mistype. I think that's a mistype.
Well, guys, I don't know, but I just bought it for $2.12. So I don't know what's going to become of this, but this should be interesting.
Wait for the eBay message coming up pretty quick.
Yep. Here comes the refund. Sorry, that should have been $212.
Well, it's worth a shot.
Hey, technically, you did your part. Whether he messed up or not, you did your part. But I have a feeling that eBay will still side with him, even though that's kind of shitty.
Oh, and here's the message.
Yep.
Your order was canceled.
Yep.
Ah,
I'm out of the stock on this item or it's damaged. You don't need to do anything else.
See, but see, that's a lie.
Mhm.
That's a lie. Ouch.
What card was it? I missed that part.
It was an artist
Something
proof.
that's worth more than $2.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
It was a, hold on, since they just canceled it. Pinnacle Zenith, 9697, artist proofs, Mario Lemieux, number 114. Gorgeous card. And he had it for $300, and he sent me an offer of 99% off. I had to look at it several times, and that's why it distracted me from the whole thing, as I was like, what? Huh? Oh, what? And I said, you know what? Free shipping. And I'm like, $2.12. And it's like the guy said, as soon as he got it. But it's one I needed, so I took the shot. Why not? Not to hijack the Insert Revolution podcast for my
I've done that
eBay
many
videos.
times. They don't care.
See, situations like that, eBay should be able to step up and be like, hey, Mr. Seller, you screwed up. You have to honor your part. It's no different than forcing a buyer to honor their commitment. You are entering into a contract to purchase said item. You are entering into a contract of selling said item. If you're a dumbass and can't type things right, sorry.
It was worth a shot, fellas. It was worth a shot.
I'd have jumped all over it too.
That's why I had to look at it 6 times. I'm like, does that say? I was hoping for like maybe 50% off, and I would think about it. But
he messed that up royally.
Yep.
But I think he selected the wrong cancellation reason, though, because to me that's just being dishonest.
it is what it is.
I mean, people mess up. I get it, but at least be honest about it. And you could sit there and be like, "Items no longer up for sale," and then send a secondary message, "Hey, dude, I completely and utterly screwed this up." No, understood. Hey, it's one of those in which I had a feeling you probably did, but in the event that you were just trying to be nice, I wanted to make sure I took care of my part of the deal.
I paid really quick.
Your connection's crap, Mr. Bouis.
Hold on. It's because hold on.
He didn't even finish what he said.
He did the Carlos. What Carlos is going to do with that Sunday stream is cut off mid-sentence.
He did, though.
See, I haven't watched the very end yet.
Okay. We won't spoil it. We won't spoil it, but go watch the last 15 minutes. And Carlos alluded to it earlier. The stream gods were definitely in his favor. It was it couldn't have been planned better than how it happened. Just throwing it out there. Uh-oh.
Technically, I'm not.
Yeah.
It was $2. $2.
It got refunded immediately.
Yeah, it's refunded. So I'd spend $0.
So better half, he's not buying anything.
Apparently, she messaged the seller.
I highly doubt that. Unless you're showing her what's on your watch list, how would she know?
She has ways, Steve. She has ways. By the way, Ed, I liked your allegedly last night on the Pepino talk. You threw the allegedly in there a couple times, and they just kind of looked at you. And I'm like, I don't think they're getting it.
They need to be more devout watchers of other channels, and they will be in on the in crowd.
Yeah, well, not everybody can be as cool as us. Now, I will say, Dave, slight correction to the placeholder for next week. Do not include any statement about my witty humor. I'm not quite sure that's a thing. And it's not even allegedly either. But, all our inside jokes are all like within this close knit group of people, which makes it so much, and it makes it more fun when you start having those conversations in other podcasts, because you literally get looked at. What? I don't get it. That's okay. That's okay. Because we have them on Carlos's stream. We have them here. Our stuff transitions over to Carlos's show. Carlos's stuff transitions into our show. It's just, that's how things kind of work. But it's quite humorous, if you ask me. What's going on, LA Pats?
What's going on, man?
What's up, guys? So I'm out of data for one more day, so I got to use my Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi is on the first floor, and the attic is far away. And now my daughter was looking for dice. I'm like, what do you need dice for? 11-year-old girls don't need dice.
Sure you do.
Then she informed me that it's not actually the dice she's worried about. She's more just looking for cubed-shaped things. Honey, I don't know what any cubed-shaped things are.
Ice cubes.
Why don't? Yeah, ice cubes would melt. What about marshmallows?
Bullion.
I don't know.
Bullion cube.
Yeah, bouillon cubes would work.
Yeah, bouillon cubes. Yeah, bouillon cubes. Awesome things you put in soup.
Are they edible?
They are edible, but not really. That
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I wouldn't eat
Don't
them.
eat them. All right, I know I'm in the dark. I'm turning on lights. So
Bouillon cubes are. You can just make them.
I know you're a smart girl. You know what bouillon cubes are.
I forgot the name, but I know what they look like.
All right, Dad's checking out. Later. I was like, okay, if I have to be down on the first floor, I might have to be rude.
You be rude? I don't believe.
So stimulated buying. I've made some stimulated purchases.
Okay.
How?
Would you care to share?
Yeah. So a couple of them are still coming in, but how am I gonna do this? Bear with me.
I just like to get a consistent picture out of you, Bob, because it's quite interesting to sit there and hear you talking. Talking is fantastic, but watching the video and the process of you talking, you're like,
my words actually match my mouth or something. Yeah,
it's like your shirt's talking, or
right. So where's that stack of cards? All right, so it is pretty Austin Meadows heavy, just because if he's primed to have a season, a comeback season, if you will, and I didn't want him to break out and then me be left in the cold, so I can still pick up. This is out of Immaculate, 9 of 10. The button card, right? Pretty cool.
Nice.
I had the other 3 swatch variations. This little patch deal, auto patch.
We'll see if we'll actually be able to get to see it, because I still haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen the card yet?
I saw the button briefly, but we haven't seen the patch yet.
What patch? This little guy right here. Oh, I didn't. The patches are upstairs because they were already in my collection. But this guy was a little bit of a patch. That yellow and black stripe is a patch. You might not be able to see its chunkiness.
Well, no, I see it. I see your Tampa Bay hat, and you're looking down. But we just saw an archives card not too long ago.
Wait, so my video is smooth, but you're saying.
Oh, it's horrendous.
I'm skipping all over.
Oh yeah, it's bad, Bob. It's bad.
Oh, so dude, I gotta go then. This is embarrassing. I'm bringing the show down.
No, you're not bringing it down.
There is no.
I'm definitely not helping it. So let me try again, man.
Yeah, Bob's working with the dial-up internet from 1999. So
Yeah, that was bad. It was kind of interesting when he sat down there for a while. I'm thinking, okay, maybe we'll be good. Stable. You could actually see the words coming out of his mouth as he was talking, and they were in sync. And all of a sudden, he started sewing cards, and it was like,
that was
wait a
it.
minute, what the hell happened? Oh, so in other words, Bob, you can just sit there and talk. Don't move.
Yeah.
Don't blink. Barely move your lips, but don't move. Well, that's disappointing. He was going to show some cards from stimulated buying, which kind of goes in line with the show. Well, crap. You know what? There goes the show.
Yeah. I'll just push the end button right now.
Yeah, we're going to call it a night. It's over. Thanks for joining, guys. It's been a pleasure. Bob screwed it up.
Everybody can get to bed early. There's nothing else going on, so.
Good response, Bob.
That's why you don't do it on your phone. You do it on a laptop. Oh, I forgot. You take a book out of Dave's. You take a page out of Dave's book. I'm telling you, I either need to start drinking more or something, because I have found as of late that I can't talk worth a damn to save my life, whether I'm drinking or I'm not. So obviously I need to figure out something. You will always get another invite. Even from Carlos. Carlos would have you back. That was good. Those were good conversations, man. So if you have something of value to bring to the show, Carlos will always have you back. Even despite his endless poking, and we're still going to find a way to impeach you out of the Hall of Fame. But other than that, there is some sort of some sense of value, usually, maybe, allegedly. So anybody else planning on picking up anything from the chat? Because with Bob's crappy internet, he was going to show us some stuff, but since we can't go down that path.
Apparently, buy Lafreniere cards. They're down to 122.50. That's a significant dip.
Mm-hmm.
See, and Doctor, I'll be honest, the overall market, that's a broad statement. And I don't think any one of us could sit there and put a finger on a way to prove that to be the case. However, in the broad scope of things, you're going to see an impact in certain areas. But that's the thing. I'm not going to speculate where that's going to be. But in the current state of basketball, for instance, you have LeBron hurt, you have LaMelo Ball hurt. I could see some people putting some money on both of them because they're only going to dip for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But that's speculation, though, too. But it's obvious their stuff is dropping. I mean, Prism took a hit as far as first off the line. Now, I didn't go and validate that information, but I'd hate to think that somebody would just throw something out on Instagram and it not have some sort of basis behind it, though, either. But to have a drop of 50% on first off the line Prism basketball, that's interesting. And the biggest reason, of course, is because of LaMelo and him being hurt. Now, if it's one of those in which he tries to come back and play a little bit, you're going to see it go back the other way. The only difference is he's not going to play at the caliber as what he would with two good wrists, of course.
It's, and again, it depends on how much I think you listen to the political market too. And not to get super political on here because we try to stay away from that. Just the fact of, will there maybe, and there's always that chatter, will there be another one? I've heard that rumble for a while. Will it happen? That's the thing. You don't know.
Yep.
So some of the season collectors, they might, stuff that you've had on your watch list, and we've said it too, stuff that's on there, that's been on there for what you're looking at, like, okay, this is $100. I'd really like to pay 70 for it. This might be your last chance to just jump in, get it at 100 and be happy with it. Because I think some of that stuff will start trickling more. Like, okay, I don't care about the price, whatever, it's free money. If I can drop whatever it is on, and I'm not, again, we've discussed it right at the beginning, it's not going to be the golden type, the heritage auctions, Robert Edwards. I mean, it's not going to be those 5, 6, 7 figure things. It's going to be the meat and potatoes. Again, the stuff that folks are looking at, the stuff that it's like you sit there and you hem, you ha. Do you really want to spend that? Well, now you've got this quote unquote bonus. It's like, okay, I can put X away for rainy day. Well, now I can dictate what Y is going to be. Is it going to be half? Will it be a couple few hundred? Like Ed said, 300 to 400 for a nice card. If it is, maybe somebody's like, oh, well, I've got 4 cards that have been on my watch list for a year. I just keep going in that continuous loop. I peg those off and they're between 80 and 100. Guess what? I'm happy because I've got 4 cards I've wanted for a year, probably longer. I'm jumping the gun because, again, in this market, could they go down? Could they go up? Who knows? It's a yo-yo every day. And if it's a retired player, it's like, well, you may as well get them. Because if you've been watching the market and nothing's come up, it's not like, oh man, I can wait on this Juan Soto Topps update. There's plenty of them out there to go around. There's stuff that you won't be able to find because it's scarce. People just aren't listing them. Or if it's in the condition you want for like a vintage card, you're going to have to pay that price. Because again, unless you want an ungraded copy or raw copy, again, it's a lot of variables again, but I think you're going to see some of the collector cards, or like, I don't like using super collector, but that type of collector peg off some of these either inserts, lowish numbered cards, the stuff that when you put together like a top 10 list, what are you looking for? That's at like the 6 to 10 range. It's like, well, if I get those, I can start focusing towards the top. Maybe those are the top. Again, just I don't know. I know people will be buying. I know that for sure. At what degree or percentage is of the stimulus, and what degree of collectors are going to spend, that's up in the air. But I'd say 50% on both of them, over half for the stimulus. I think when it's taken as a cumulative number, I think over half the collectors will buy, but over half of it will be spent on cards because, again, it's an addiction, and a lot of these guys are just far too addicted for their own good.
I think that's fair. But like you alluded to, your top cards and stuff, it's not going to change anything because what we got from a stimulus perspective can't even sniff those. They're not even in the same, solar system. I mean, you're talking way big of a difference.
Mm.
But, if it wasn't for, our current situation, so to speak, and we weren't looking at trying to, build a little nest egg and try and force ourselves to cut back on a few things in order to work and get out of debt and all that kind of fun stuff. I mean, there's things out there that I would have definitely snagged. There's been things on my watch list that consistently get relisted, consistently, and slowly they're starting to get picked off.
Mhm.
And it's not like it's super pricey. It's just one of those in which it's like, yeah, I need it. It's a fair price, but I'd rather try and get something else.
This is truth. That is true.
Yep.
I've noticed that too, where you're sitting on stuff and you're just like, okay, you get. It's not complacent. You get comfortable with it being there.
Yep.
It's like nobody's hit it for 4 months, 6 months. Then 1 week you're like, shit, there's 10, 12 of them off the list. And it's not even everything that's like big numbers. It's stuff you're like, okay, this is probably overpriced by 20, but whatever. Nope, bam, done.
Yep.
You check your watch list, you're like, okay, I know that number was higher. Check the ended, and you're like, okay.
Yep.
I'm kicking myself for that one, but I only have myself to blame because I've waited so long.
Yep.
True
I've
statement.
seen about 10 of them. Yep. I've seen about 10 of them over the last 3 weeks, which, even predates the first issue of the stimulus stuff. So, I mean, it's one of those in which I think this is only going to add to it for those that, find themselves either focusing on stuff that maybe they hadn't thought of before, or they're trying to increase a team collection or a player collection. Those getting back into the hobby and trying to look at stuff from a set era of a player. Hall of Fame players, that's one of the main reasons why, a lot of Terrell Davis stuff has increased the way that it has, is because, I mean, he finally made it into the Hall of Fame. Granted, he's been there a few years now, but, it's like all of a sudden, oh crap, yeah, now he's a Hall of Famer. People are more interested in picking up his stuff. But on the flip side, you've got sellers that are listing crap that you're sitting there going, no. $250 for that? You've lost your damn mind.
Mm-hmm.
The kicker was when I told you about that artist proof, it was $275. He kicked it up to $300 yesterday. So within 24 hours, he kicked it up $25.
I know there's one I might try to get, and I've been wrestling with it for probably a good 2 months, and I'm like, I don't want to pay up for it. But the one that's been on ComC, I think the seller had it for 300, and then he bumped it up to 1,000. And I want to say it last time I checked, and that was a couple of days ago. And I don't know if it'll come down if I signed in. I'm sure it would have. And I don't remember if I was signed in. That's the problem. It was $2,000. And I'm like, it's not even a $300 card. And that was one of the guys that I got the strike from for offering the minimum allowed for a card, and he rejected it. So that was a strike. I'm like, how does that go against me when that is the minimum you've got allowed? I offered it. I don't care if you raise it, but to have all that happen, and again, I can't. It from what Carlos had said, it's like I can't. After 3 strikes, you can't buy from that seller for like 90 days, 45 days, something like that.
Yep.
So it's, you want the card. Some I will pay up a certain percentage. And that percentage is usually well under the 50%, depending again on the card. This is one of those cards where I'd love to have it, but at the same time, I'm not going to go stupid for it. I don't even think it might crack that top 20 just because it's rare. But rare, notated with the rarity being serial numbered to 100 in the 90s. So still, it just, the seller's got a bunch of stuff I'd want, but at the same time, if you're going to be a douchebag like that, that pretty much excludes me from the offer game, because that means you really think your shit's great. And while it's nice, it's not 300 to $2,000 nice. This isn't a Bowman Chrome draft like Orange Refractor. It's, some of the stuff is still stupid. I think you're gonna start seeing like the top end stuff maybe drop a little, but whatever that, because people are starting to look for deals too. I mean, it's great to have those cards where you can go in a Beckett and be like, I spent 5 point whatever million on that 52 mantle. It's like, well, you're dumb. It's not even a 10. So I mean, again, if you want the creme de la creme, but the regular people are like, well, I don't want the mantle. I'd like a Noise Boys Jordan or a Jambalaya Jordan or something. It doesn't even have to be graded well. It could be a 7, and people would still probably pay close to 6 figures for it. That is true. If it was the same, if it was the one card, I don't know. It just is. It's stupid.
Yeah, that's some bad terminology if that's
Yeah.
the case. Because if that, but on the flip side, if you're a seller of said card and you set the minimum and you reject it, then up your minimum. What's the point in putting it at that minimum if you're going to reject it anyways?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
It's just.
Oh, so now we've got Blob Uis in the house. We see him blinking. He's moving. It's clear. It's good.
I don't know. I'm afraid to talk.
You're good, Bob.
No, you're
Like
good.
You guys are choppy now, but so I just feel like I'm probably choppy. It's all good.
No, you are not choppy right now.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, good.
That's-
I did a reset on the phone. I'm still afraid to move though.
Like my dad says, it's that Pennsylvania internet. It's not as good as that Michigan internet.
Right. It's a little slower by the time it gets here. Yeah, so I've made and I'm continuing to think about like things I would want to get. You know, you take care of some business first with this stimulus money, and thankfully we had it because I had my van. I just got it out of the shop today, and $1,003 on that. Some kind of this is how they get you. They had to fix something that cost $400, but in order to do it, they had to remove a certain hose that is like a one-time use. So you have to replace it with a new hose, and that hose costs $500. So,
Of course.
one of those things. You're right. But thankfully, we were able to do it. So, didn't have as much to spend on cards, but no. So yeah, we got caught up on some things, and we both kind of gave ourselves a few $100s to buy purses and cards. I've been picking up Austin Meadows. I think I showed a couple the other night, but this is probably the biggest of them all. I know you're not supposed to start with the biggest one, but so it's his gold update rookie in a 10.
Is that the low pop one, Bob?
It is. That's a pop. I mean, there's only 7 graded, and there's 3 10s and 4 9s. So I had lost the 18 chrome refractor numbered to 250 in a 10 for like 185 or whatever. I don't know what I was thinking. And then the chrome autograph rookie in a 10. So lost both of those back pretty much within 23 hours of each other. And then I termed it the rage buy. Like, I'm getting some high-end Austin Meadows that I don't have. So then I bought that, and then I got this for $49, the refractor Heritage Chrome in a 9. It costs $25 to get the card graded now, so I was happy with that. I got a couple others coming in, but I'll just show these. So this was $39. The SP 94 SP die cut Hall of View. Tony Gwynn. Yeah.
I remember you and I talking about that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, die cut. I picked up the vintage stock Austin Meadows, numbered to 99, not graded, raw. I got my first and only, and probably only ever, Topps Dynasty card of Austin Meadows.
Going big time.
So, was that 2 of 10? But I figured I had to get at least one.
Mhm.
I mean, they got like 5 different pictures of the guy. He's like this, or he's like this, or he's like angry, and there's 5 variations of each of those, and laundry tags that are people were asking for like $400 and $500. I'm like, nah, I don't need all that. I don't need a tag that says Majestic on it. I'd rather have something that has some jersey on it. I picked up this in a it was actually a YouTube auction, the Sports Card Talk Show, Skoll Brothers. This is a Moss second year Topps autograph. The auto is pretty faded, so I got a really good deal on it. You probably can't see that at all with the light shining on it, but I can see it. And I'd rather have a faded Moss autograph than no Moss autograph. So I got that one on yeah. I had some good pack opening. I don't know if you saw that on IG, as you have to call it now if you want to be cool. The Harper
Saw this SP.
Bryce Harper's super short print. Yeah, with the flowing hair and all of that. I'm kind of going for that now, I'm working on my mullet back here.
Steve's had that before.
What's that?
Steve's had the hockey hair before.
Yeah,
I've got it now.
man. I'm working on it. I need to shave down my sides a little bit and business the front up a little bit.
Don't you have to have hair up there first though, Bob?
Well, right. It's actually the hairline is there, but it's fading quickly. I might go. Who knows? At any point, Bob Lewis could be bald guy with a beard. So we'll just see how long I can take it. I don't have to look at it, and I'm tall, so I don't have my kids like constantly telling me like, "Dad, your hair's. Why do you have this hole in your head back here?"
Because it's running away from my face.
That's right. Dad jokes galore right now.
Hey, I got kids.
Yeah, heck yeah, man.
We all got
been
kids.
Fun though. So I've been picking up. What I'll do is I'll wait for a set to come out for a while, and then I'll go back and try to get as many of the parallels as I can, because the hype is over and people aren't paying ungodly ones because they ungodly amounts for like parallels numbered to 100 or whatever. Oh right. Yeah, I do remember that. You can have that and take it downstairs if you want.
Excellent negotiation.
Yes. So picking up a lot of low end, like $1 and $2, $2.50 free shipping or $1 shipping. So I did a lot of those. Harper. Can I bring up a topic of potential? If people are still thinking of how they want to apply that, I don't know if you can hear her She's like a little banshee over there, but
It's fine.
hey, Ruby. Hey, Rubster. Can you head downstairs, please? Okay, thanks for trying.
She wants to be close to Dad.
Oh yeah.
Enjoy
she
those
knows.
moments.
She knows there's a show right now, and my attention is right here. So it's competition right now, and she doesn't like to lose. So, but I had been thinking of. Okay, so what sparked this was my dad. So he'll hang out with his buddies. Like he's the old guy that's at McDonald's or Panera, and he's drinking coffee and brings home like the day old muffins and stuff. You know, he's all the time. My wife actually, can you tell him to stop bringing us ciabatta bread? I don't even know how to like make ciabatta bread. I'm like, okay, no problem. But that is a side note. Anyways, he meets there with his guys, and they're all 70 plus. And I'll end up calling him here and there, and it just happens to be with him. And I usually call him, we're talking cards. And so one of his buddies, Joe, just kind of like saw how much fun, he was having, my dad was having, and I was having. And he has a little bit of a collector in him where he collects coins.
Mm-hmm.
So he just, one day he just started buying some packs, and then he'd call my dad and say, I got this guy and I got that guy. And he's explaining to him, you put the ones with the little rookie card logo in it. Yeah, thanks, man. He is. So yesterday, he's probably been buying packs here and there for about a month. If he can catch them at Walmart. Well, he found a blaster of 2021 Topps, and he opened it. And inside was a 86 Topps throwback Ichiro rookie or Ichiro autograph gold version numbered to 10.
Wow.
So it's a big card. So that was number 7 of 10. Number 6 of 10 sold on eBay on March 7th for $426, right? So before we knew that number, my dad, maybe we don't have any like primo Ichiro stuff. Maybe we could make him an honest offer, and that's more money than he's made in 30 years of coin collecting, so, and then maybe we hold it until Hall of Fame time, whatever. But then that got to me to remember a conversation I had with a gentleman about, I just asked him how he felt about Mookie Betts, right? And essentially, he's number 2 is how he feels. And I said, I don't have any Mookie Betts. And I forget who I was watching, but somebody said so Mookie Betts PSA 10 rookie is, I think I looked up one. They're about 800, 850. What's the Trout? 10 times that? Should Mookie Betts, the Trout's rookie be 10 times more than Mookie Betts? Probably not. So what's going to happen? Trout going to come down, or is Mookie going to go up? Mookie already has the ring. Mookie's got an MVP. He's playing the dot. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's an opportunity there still with him. But I know that's more of the higher end, big commitment type of purchase. But so he
you're
gets hurt in
looking
the first month and his market takes a hit, then that would be the time to buy. It's like you just never know, man. I feel that I'm just like so panicked to make an actual decision because there's so many variables nowadays and such volatile markets. Well, I didn't know that about the Panini stuff with Melo getting hurt. That's nuts. That if that isn't an eye opener for some people, I don't know what we're gonna or like the. Go ahead. Sorry, you get the idea.
No, you're good. I'm just going to pose the question. So what you're really getting at is you're looking for #invest advice on whether or not you should look at putting in your money to Mookie Betts because of a conversation that you had with an individual that feels like basically they're underappreciated, undervalued, so to speak, as a player. I'm not talking even card here, but as a player. I'll be honest. I never understood the reason why Trout just exploded from a popularity perspective. I'm not a big baseball guy. I will sit here and tell you that I used to watch quite a bit of it, back when the Rangers were good, but I never understood it. the Angels do not have a huge substantial market, at least not that I can think of. The team sucks. They have sucked for a long time. But for whatever reason, trout stuff consistently is on the uptick. What I'd be interested to know, though, what was the biggest percentage increase for trout over the largest percentage increase of Mookie Betts? Because if you look at, when I think of things like that, if you have, if trout, the biggest percentage increase was, let's say, 100%. But then you have a Mookie Betts that went, and was like 600%. To me, that tells you something. I'm not going to tell you to do one or the other.
Yeah, sure. No,
most of us are priced out of trout anyways.
So ultimately, when I'm asking questions that may be geared towards an investment angle or whatever, hashtag invest, I'm never looking for somebody to tell me to confirm yes or no to buy. But it is helpful to hear just how you went through your thought process of if you were put in that position, this is how I would go about it. So it's not the yes or no part that I'm looking for. It's just an alternate way, an alternate perspective to kind of think about it. So I didn't consider looking at time periods and biggest gains over that time period. How would that? So what would you be looking for? If something already has had that monumental 600% increased, it's probably going to be a while before it sees something like that again, or?
Well, and it's all going to be relative to what specific time frame you're looking at. So the reason why I focused on that specific concept of highest percentage. So if you look at 12 months, if you have one that, like I said, is 100%, and then one over 12 months went 600%, and is still reasonably, I don't want to say inexpensive, but if it's something that you're looking at from a long-term perspective, to me, that indicates that there's some more movement potential, because the trout, I don't think, has increased as significantly over the last 12 months as what it did historically. Mookie Betts, you saw that large uptick over the last 12 to 18 months, I want to say. And that's my guess.
Yeah.
And that's without going to look at, market movers or, anything along those lines. To me, that shows more potential long-term. But that's my interpretation.
I just had a
data.
thought of, Dave or Vinny, do you guys want to chime in? I mean, I don't want to just keep going back and forth, but the idea of go ahead.
So I'm looking at the charts right now. Card. It's like a squirrel. Shiny card.
You're right. Oh, Tatum. There he is.
Tatum, Bill. What
is
a
that
waste.
The gold to 25?
That's what it looks like.
Yep.
I remember that one.
Waste of talent. But anyways, go ahead, Vinny.
I'm looking at a chart of bets on 12/24 roughly. It was at $442. Its high point hit about close to 1,100 on 2/9.
Wow.
And it's flattened out to 789, the last one. So your current price is 789. Average is about 806. Starting price was 442 in December. The low price was 430, which was below the starting price. So then you go and look at trout. It had a big creep up. It was at $3,000. Then I don't know if this was the
fake $10,000 sales that happened.
Well, I'm not sure, because these say a sale on 2/3 for $7,000, and then that was a huge bump up, and then the last one is 4,500. So that's where this is from the
trout
ladder.
tens are around 4,500 right now. Then
that's what it says. It's a Gem Mint 10 Yeah, they're hovering in there. The last couple of sales are all around 45, 4,600.
And that is the 2011 update, though, right, Vinny?
Mike Trout US 175, 2011 tops update. And I was comparing it to 14 tops update Mookie Betts US 26.
Okay. Which is the same card you were probably referring to, right, Bob?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I just think, so people are starting to get on the A's bandwagon because Otani's struck out 14 people and hit 4 dingers, like he's going to be the difference maker. And sure, maybe that'll help, but so if Major League Baseball is trying to trend towards like high energy, exciting players like Acuna and Tatis and Mookie Betts, like I feel like it's all attitude and talent and like fun. Trout's like got a personality like a loaf of bread. So I've used that before. So I do recycle jokes. If you've heard that one before, I apologize. So I just, and then who's more primed right now to kind of have a run this decade, So I don't know, man. It just seems like I could be sitting here next year. Hey, remember that IRP episode, whatever we were talking about? And yeah, should have did that. I do have permission from the dude to peruse the interwebs to see what's out there. So we'll see what happens.
I don't think you would go wrong with the Mookie. I don't. Even at the current market, the kid is good. He's still young. He has nothing but upside. He's, I don't want to call him a transcendent player, but geez, boy, that guy can play some freaking defense. He is the all-around guy. And,
I think he's a pretty clutch hitter too.
Without a doubt.
Game hitter.
He's got power. No, he's got power. So he's an all-around top caliber player. And I'm not saying Trout isn't. But, like Carlos had said, and even Ed, Trout stuff is down. Market correction. It does happen. We're going to see it. Consistently see it. The difference is the differences these days, because of the way that the market is, it's so I don't want to call it random, but it's sporadic. It's so different than what we've ever seen, to where you've got these cards that sell for 10 grand and then all of a sudden a few months later, it drops to, $5,000-$6,000 type situation. And we all think, and I'm speaking for everybody, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I have a feeling all of us have some sort of belief or sense that there is some manipulation going on currently in the marketplace as it pertains to cards. Some of these sales are not legitimate. It's people pumping the prices because oh, that's nice. That's Pickens. Is that Herman?
Yeah.
96 mirror gold. Nice. Quit showing those. I still don't have the TD yet, prick.
I don't have any of those from that year. Those were hard. I had them in the 95 when they were like easy to get.
Well, they were one a box.
I hear you,
one or two a box. But, on the flip side, and, I know it's been brought up on Carlos's stream a few times. I can say it here, though, too. All four of us could manipulate the sell price of a card. Bob, you could sell a card to Vinny for $500, let's say. Market is paid, market is shipped. 2 months later, Vinny could sell it to me for $750. Same thing. And then, 2 weeks later, I could sell the same card to Dave for $2,000 and mark everything as a legitimate transaction.
But we're all in on it.
Yeah.
Well,
Are you saying like? Is that what you're saying, Steve? Like,
that's what I'm saying
ahead,
could be happening. That's what I'm saying. That's how things could be how they could be taking place right now.
Dude, I feel like that Tatis rookie update, the rookie debut thing, like all that was market manipulation. Like somebody that don't know like what they're talking about said like this is the rookie to get because what it's vertical cart. I mean, it's not like I don't understand that. I mean, there's no in the history of all of update, the rookie debut you just like got like shat on every chance you could get. Like you hated the rookie debuts, now it's the card to have and it's selling comparably with the rookie. I don't know, that was a strange one for me. I know Ed's in here and we still talk about that not making sense. Is that a future Yankee middle reliever? Oh no, that's Jeff Karstens.
That's
Yeah,
a
even
future
worse.
Bob Lewis care package participant.
Nice. Nice.
How dead set are you and the dude on getting a 10? What is the price discrepancy between a 10 and a 9? And again,
Well,
the pop report, not that it should truly matter, but what's
so that's a great question, and that leads me even further. So, looking at gold 9s because golds are stamped to 2014, and I would take that in a 9 for sure. I don't know what the markets are, but when I was looking up, I was looking up, who was I looking up? Yelich, because he was down. I was like, should I grab a 10 or not? Maybe look for a 9 gold because I do think, that 10 million card backlog, it's a lot to think about when, like, how many, you showed that Arenado, like, how many Arenados are graded now and how many are waiting to be graded and how many Wander Francos are waiting to be graded? You know what I mean? So stuff with numbers on them, I think, is going to become, it's going to carry some more weight. But that's not a pretty obvious thing.
There looks to be like $100 difference for a Mookie 10 to a 9. And then when you get into the PSA 10, you're talking 6 G's. And
for the gold.
For a gold PSA 10. And then a gold PSA 9's about 1,100.
That's a big difference.
See,
that's a huge swing.
To me, I would pay. But I'm thinking I would pay up $300 to get a finite number of copies of a card. I don't know what print runs were like in 2014. Maybe it's definitely not as much as it is today, but yeah, buy the card, not the grade.
Yep.
So
well,
I don't
Pats,
know,
but LA Pats even brought up, a valid point. And
what was it? I missed it.
Miggy, it's one of those in which it depends on what focal points you want to look at. You've got these younger kids or younger guys.
Good point.
And I call them younger, but they're still superstars. Mm-hmm. Then you look at the guys that are coming up at the end of their career and they have records in front of them. Pujols, you've got Cabrera, those guys, Pujols is saying this is his last year. Miggy, you don't know for sure. Could be his last year. He may go one more. You just don't know. But, at the same time, do you want to look for the younger guys that have potential upside?
Interrupt 1 second. Just going to go do bedtime. I shall return.
No worries. So it depends on what you want to look for. You want to look at guys at the tail end of their career that are sure first ballot Hall of Famers, that, in that sense of the equation are going to appreciate in value over time? Or do you look at guys that are still playing really well, have a huge fan base, great players that, for whatever reason, though, could completely go the opposite direction? And that's where the speculation comes into play. And that's one of the things that I hate about baseball so much, is it seems that it's much more speculative to me, especially when you're talking about your prospects and all this other kind of stuff that goes into play when you're collecting baseball.
And again, unless Pujols or Miggy go bonkers, I think you'll still be able to get some of their stuff at a decent price. I think most of the lower price stuff, or trying to find something at a low price, is gone. At least, and I could be for good, but once you start getting some of these outsiders into the card game, and they've been in it for probably about a year now, maybe a little under. When you've got Acuna, you've got Soto, you've got Tatis Jr., you've got
Guerrero.
you've got everybody in every sport. Then not all of them are going to dip out once whatever happens to the market happens. Like right now, some might jump out because LeBron goes down. Because now LaMelo goes down. Because you have prices, the Jordan rookie goes from 750 or 700 to whatever it was, 425, 450. You might have people going out, but some of these people are going to get hooked. Again, it's done it to us, and we've been in for 30 plus years. You're going to have that when you plant the one seed. If you expect one blade of grass to grow, that's not going to happen. If it's a tree, yeah. But if you scatter a bunch of seeds, like this hobby's been known to do, it's like I just rattled off the names. We all can rattle off 40 names of superstars, young players, all these hot collectible names. You start spreading those seeds everywhere. It's like, okay, let me see if I'm going to watch Joe Burrow. They're playing the Packers. Aaron Rodgers. Well, I've heard of the guy. I really haven't watched much Packers football. What's he about? Look up the stats. You're like, holy crap, he's pretty good. Then you go back. It's like Favre. Well, wow. You're going to start to the people that actually want to stick around and feel that this could be more than just a quick buck, which you will have a good number of those people jumping in and sticking around. Maybe not for the super long haul, but for more than just a cup of coffee. You're going to see the residual growth in other markets. It's not just going to be the ultra modern. It won't be the modern back to like 2010, 2009, if you want to just include it for Trout in the Bowman draft. You're going to see people go back as far as they feel comfortable with, as far as they get interested in it. Might not all be all the way back to the dawn of cards, but you will see, and that's why I think that insert market too will stay steady and probably grow more so than the current market, where that current market will, in certain areas, will plateau. That 90s, early 2000s market, there's still, and I hate to say it, tons of room for growth. And I think a lot of these collectors are going to go back and start seeing a lot of that. The technology of the cards and the scarcity and just the overall visual appeal. Go back to that and figure on, hey, this is something we should probably get in on now. So it'll dip in the one area, but it'll rise in the other.
I'm already seeing it. You guys are seeing it in hockey on in certain cards. I'm seeing it on the football side. We all knew it was going to be a matter of time. So it's who's to say? And Ed, I'll disagree with your statement. It's all going to be dependent on where he goes, which will dictate how much of an increase you'll see on Deshaun Watson cards. Because I know right now there's speculation about him going to the Jets and Houston getting the Jets pick. So, the Jets and their craziness. If he goes to the Jets, I could see it going up even more. because it'll make him a contender. So no, LA Pats, and I agree with the assessment of Vince, which is why it's one of those in which, you know, if that's something that you think is worth putting the money into, he's still a young enough player. He's got the hardware. He's super talented. He hits the ball well, great on the defensive side of the ball. You know, he's the all-around package. And, you know, he's high impact and highly likable, which usually makes somebody highly collectible. So would you like to add?
No.
Yeah.
I'm interrupting you, Dave.
Absolutely.
Vinny.
Yes.
Anything that you'd like to add, just in general?
Like for me, I was looking at the beginning of the season when Doc got his wrist ripped in half, and it was like that. I thought his cards would dip, and I thought that a prime opportunity. They haven't. It would have been his sophomore year, and I really thought that injury would have gave me an opportunity, but they've been selling solid because I think his potential is still there, and I think other people are. I don't know, for some reason the young guns market doesn't see that dip on injury; it sees it on performance. Look at the Lafreniere. Like I just said, it's down $122. He's got. Last time I saw, he had 7 points in like 20 games. I'm not even sure where he's at now, which I will check here in a moment. But I'm like we've always talked to in these markets, you zig and zag. And I keep on looking for things that are outside the norm. Like Joe was talking about those refractors this weekend. So one of them was a 98, 99 or 99 2000 Stanley Cup Heroes refractor. That was one of them that went. They're going for 100 to 175. It went for 38 cents more than I bid. So there's that one. And then the other refractor was a Lemieux. I think it's what was it? I just brought it up a couple minutes ago when Joe said it. 2001, 2002 Topps Chrome. And it went for like $46, like he said. And it's not, I don't think that one's numbered like the other ones. But it's these cards are seeing steady jumps. Like Dave was saying earlier, that was on the watch list for how long? When you could have got it at 20 and you hesitated.
Mm-hmm.
And then, now it's slowly creeping up. There are certain sets that I'm looking at finishing now because I have a feeling in 12 months you're going to see a 25% to 50% spike on those cards on the inserts. And I'm watching it. I mean, I see it every day.
Right.
And it's something that if you're looking to get what you want now, start looking at it now because the increase is there over time. Since 2017, I've had a pretty good eye on the Lemieux market. Look what happened to the rookie card. Now I'm watching some of them detract right now. I've kept an eye where my seven PSA was $106, and I cried pulling the trigger. I wish I'd have cried a lot. I wish I'd have cried so much. I wish I'd have felt pain because I'd have bought 10 of them because now they go for $500-$600. So, what it costs now, and then don't even look in the realm of OPG because I didn't get my OPG rookie like an idiot. And Now they're going for double that. And yeah, the Donruss Elites have jumped. I've noticed that. Yet there's still ones that you can find. Like I saw Potvin the other day for $6. The one with the deco edge, the second year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just have to watch. Watch lots. There was a lot the other day that had 4 cards that they're doubles for me. But for the price, no one was paying attention to it. Bad description. $4.28. And I got a dream team. There was a dream team in there. There was 3 cards in there that were priced $10 to $15. So by grabbing them in a lot for $4 plus shipping, so $10, I got $40 worth of singular sales cards on eBay for $10. Those are the things you have to do now when you're looking through all that stuff. You can't just go after the card. Look for lots and try to find what you're hunting for buried somewhere. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Nope, absolutely. So, Blob Uis, Chair, do you have any insight that you'd like to add to this conversation?
The chair has to unmute first.
Hey, Chair. You heard Dave. Go off mute. We'd like to hear your insights and your feedback on this. What else is new? It's about as beneficial as Bob sitting there and talking. Anyways.
And on the Lafreniere front, 31 games played, 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points, -7. So the chair must have called downstairs because there he is. No, somebody else. But yeah,
or he heard what I said as he was walking up the stairs.
True. But the other thing you got to think, look at the Jack Hughes case for New Jersey. Look at the season he's putting together in his sophomore year. And I think it was Batnow Cursive said the thing about Lafreniere, he's in an odd position where he can't be moved down due to his age. So he has to stay where he is. He can't go back to the minors and play, which he already dominated in. So he's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. So #invest. You never know what a sophomore, junior season's going to look for for a guy. And we've talked it on Poke Check and Guards. We said, what happens over the season? He meets with somebody, and it clicks.
Yeah.
And boom, he's off to the races, and there we go.
So Bob, since you're still on mute, we asked the chair for some #invest advice, and it was actually pretty damn spot on. You missed it.
He probably had as much to say as I did about it.
That's the point.
I know. Yeah, I went through. How about this one? I had a friend reach out, was looking to kind of fill out some of his low-end Jordan collection. I was going through my Jordan box and found this bad boy. It's really nice, but I sold my PSA 9 early, and the other copy that I had was pretty off-centered. Then I found this one. The Shaq Gold rookie. There's some. It's not gradable. There's something going on the edges back here, but it's one that I now have. That I'm
10 of.
Yeah, it's just like. Well, no, dude. That's like I had. Man, it is what it is. But
like you have 10
part
of
the 9. Yeah, I think I sold it at 3, and it's over like 11 now. I think so. It's whatever. And that's $3, Carlos. Carlos was commenting on these young bucks, and they just say numbers, and we're just supposed to know what dollar amounts they really mean. Anyways,
and what are you drinking there, Bob?
What is this? This is a new one. Flying Dog. Blood Orange Ale.
Oh, so the flavored
Sponsored
stuff.
by something. No, it's just an ale. It's got a little citrusy to it, but nothing crazy.
That's all right. I get made fun
Um,
of for drinking Bud Light and Coors Light, so I just thought I'd ask.
Well, yeah, you deserve all that with Coors
Hey,
Light
Bob.
and Bud Light.
This is my
Hey,
show.
Dave, does Steve have the ability to like X me out, or is that all you?
No, it's
So
only
you
Dave.
don't. Okay, so just don't upset Dave. That's all I gotta do. Vinny, I heard you talking about the Lemieux rookies. Not grabbing them when you could, man. I was so bummed when I sent mine in my first order, my O-Peach, and it came back not graded because of altered stock or something. It's just like that's a heartbreaker, man. But I should be thankful I've got a raw copy, I guess. Yes, I should be. Somebody was saying the elites were going up. Is that hockey elites?
Correct. They are.
There's that. I do have the set of the first one, including the 5 update ones. So we'll see.
They had
Have I?
2 WAs on there for $50 starting bid.
Wow.
I saw that the other night. And
raw.
Yeah, raw. Lemieux, second year with the deckled edge is 200.
Those are nice though.
The 90-91 OPG Premier, the first year with it's Yager, Sundin, Mogilny,
Sure.
rookies, Fedorov. The Lemieux went for 300 in a 10, PSA 10.
What?
And then this past weekend, one went for like $30. It was like that whole thing is. I've been watching Premiere for a couple months. The box sets were going for $400 or $500. Now it's dipped down. Now they're going for $183. So that was a quick push on the Yager, and I think a lot of them got bought up. But those boxes were $100 for a while, which was, I think I bought 2 boxes, and they went from like 100 to 800 at a time at the peak.
Wow.
So it's there was some at a show, and he had packs, and he was selling for $4 a piece. I should have just bought a bunch of packs and sold them for $20 a pop on eBay, but hashtag I don't invest.
Because just being like, yeah, we didn't get it when it came out. It was a year or two late, and it was like, hey, this is my dad. Somebody told him this is like a premier thing. All these rookies in it. Hard, it wasn't necessarily easy to come by. I know they made tons of it, but comparatively to other stuff, not really. So it was like a big deal. I remember the Alexander Mogilny was like a chase card for us for a while, and that was fun stuff.
Yeah, Premier's always been great.
Yeah. The baseball set that looks like that is probably like one of the worst sets ever, just because there's nothing exciting about it, like rookie wise. Going from the hockey one, which was just full of them.
Did you guys ever see that movie about the guy that was going back to retrace his dad? Had that big card shop in California. It was on Netflix. I can't think of the name of the movie, but it was at the National.
I can't think of it either, but I know what you're talking about. That guy was at the National in 19.
Yeah.
And
so
was that the dude that lived up in Toronto?
Yeah. I can't think of the name of the movie though.
Yep, I watched that.
He said that the guy that bought his dad's card shop paid for part of it with 4 cases of high. I think it was 3 or 4 cases of high 90-91 French upper deck hockey. So at the time they were going for $10,000 a case. So
wow,
it harkens back to the craziest of the early 90s for that. which is kind of insane because they're charging about $100 a box right now for French. It's actually French low that's going bonkers because only thing in
Is
French
that the
high.
Solani?
No, this is
Forsberg?
Yager, year before. This is Fedorov, Bure, Yager.
Oh, 9091. Okay.
Yep. 91, 92 is also going nuts in the French. They're going for about $80 a box. But the 9091 hockey, the low French is really going bonkers. The high, which
So
you can get,
that's the high, right?
that's high.
526. All right.
Yep. So that's your Fedorov and
That's the
Bure
bigger-
young guns. Yep. But you could get low number cards in high for 90, 91, 91, 92.
I know the 89 upper deck baseball, but you could get out of the high, you could still get a Griffey rookie. I remember that
Yep.
too.
Jack of all trades. That's it.
That is it. Yeah, I remember he was the guy who like I caught the first like 20 minutes of it before he kind of went on his journey. It was just that like taking his 90 Don Russ set into the show and trying, you know what I mean, and like oh my goodness, I had no idea that these were. I was supposed to be able to retire from these sets, you know. Like, come on, dude. It just seemed a little hokey in the beginning. I didn't give it a fair shake. I don't think, but maybe I will someday.
I don't know. I've watched worse, and I don't know what it was. The hour and a half, hour 40 minutes, but I think that might have been where a certain person got a card burning idea from at the very
I'm
end.
missing some of what you said, Dave.
At the very end of
the night. Those are those ones. There's Gary.
Yeah, I
the,
did.
the very end of the movie.
Look at that yellow top litter.
They take, I think, boxes. I don't know if it's boxes of stuff, and then there's a big bonfire around, and I think somebody stole that idea last year.
Maybe. Probably wishes he had that Kyle Lewis rookie back that was in there, but oh well.
Oh, no, it's not vintage.
That's right.
91 scores going up too, Bob. So because of the Brodeur.
Okay.
So
what's Bellafor's rookie? Does Ed Bellafor have? I don't
90,
think I've ever
91
seen
upper
in
deck.
Upper Deck.
Yep, low series.
Is that his only one?
I believe Potvin and
Is it a
Belfort.
star
Yep.
rookie, or is it like one of those prospect things? Or it's not a young gun, right?
No, it's not a young gun.
I think it's
I
just a
wonder how they
regular.
decide who's a young gun and who's not.
I don't think they knew back then.
No, it was just who did Burry had one.
Fedorov.
Fedorov.
Yep.
But yeah, it was,
Those are the only two guys that have a young gun
In
notation on there?
9091.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's notable. There's other guys in there, but
Oh, they're okay. That's notable at least. There are other guys that had them on there. All right.
yeah. Dude from the Red Wings, I can't think of his name. I can
Primo?
see- No. Primo's low series. He's on the checklips with Fedorov. I just can't think of it.
Lindstrom.
No, Lindstrom's 91, 92.
One of the Russians? One of the
Yeah.
other Russians? Konstantinov?
No.
You got a good shot if you
Konstantinov's
just say
91,
one of the
92.
Russians.
Garpenlov. Sergei
Oh, it was
Garp-
on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
Garpenloff.
I'm pretty sure.
I came across this one. This is kind of. I don't have much vintage hockey. And this is. If Bobby's watching, he'd probably yell at me. It's not vintage, but 82, 83 OPG.
That is vintage.
Messier.
It's pre-90s. He would consider it vintage.
And it actually looks really nice.
Johann Garpenlov. So I don't know if I don't believe he's Russian.
Okay.
There's the. There's the Fedorov.
Yep. And Belfort has 2 rookies, Pro Set and Upper Deck, and he has a score update that's a rookie year.
Okay, hockey. I have a hockey question here. So, do you remember 92, 93 Topps hockey, right?
Yes, I do.
The gold cards.
Yes.
Do you remember how, or correct me if I'm wrong, weren't the horizontal ones like somehow, or like, didn't they like a little bit more money or a little bit more sought after? Do you remember that at all? Or am I just making that up?
Possibly making it up, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
All I know is the Lindros was the hot thing, and I remember Mike Canadian Cards told a story about being at the expo opening a box, and it was like a hot box, and he got like 12 or 13 gold Eric Lindrosses at that show.
What?
Yeah. It's one of the stories that sticks out of my mind that he told. So, yeah.
Wow.
So I'm guessing every card was a gold.
No, it was one per pack, but every pack he opened, he got one in it. He said it was insane.
See, I wouldn't consider that a hot box then. That was just
bad circulation or
dumb luck. Anomaly.
So Dave, this 95, 94, 95 select hockey set first line. This is a Shanahan, but who else is in this set? This card looks
Gretzky,
fantastic,
Richter. Gretzky, Richter.
Does Lemieux have one of these?
Well, no. Or I would own it because it's gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Wow. It's just like it's got all the Dufix greatness. Oh, here's your this is one. Vinny showed this one before, the Nemesis card from Stadium Club with Gretzky and Lemieux. I've seen like upticks in, well, like the LeBron like photo where he's doing the thing. It's not a rookie or anything, but it's like, or if lends itself more basketball, like guys like Iverson guarding Kobe in the card, you know what I mean? Like if it's just a cool shot or somebody dunking on somebody else, like I don't know, just in it, like you're getting like if Jordan's in the background on a card. I don't know. For me, I feel like that's kind of an added little something, another way to collect your guy. Like I don't know. I was going through basketball cards and I found like anytime I see Shaq in the background, I count that as a Shaq card for some reason, but that's just me.
In watching, what was it? There's a popular LeBron card because Kobe's in the background. I heard them talking about that the other day.
I still want that hockey card that has Patrick Kane in like the crowd as a kid or something behind the glass. I still want to get that one. I like that. Those kind of things I find interesting and collectible.
Sylvain Turgeon, I think, is the I think 94, 95 Pinnacle or Select, one of the two.
I thought it was Select. Now you say that, but it probably is Pinnacle.
It's Pinnacle.
It's Pinnacle. I trust it. I trust Vinny. He's confident in that Pinnacle.
Second series, I think. And that's the first year or this first year of the gold.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So what kind of wax collection do you have, Vinny?
None. That's the answers that we
that
get.
Brings up, I have
a few.
Yeah, well, good, man. I love opening packs, so it's tough for me to keep a box. But when you got one like, they're doing something right there. I just heard that Bowman 2019 Bowman hobby boxes, 24 packs, one guaranteed auto, are going for like $1,500 now because of Wander Franco, and the buzz around him. Well, I got a 2020 Bowman jumbo box, So I just feel like I gotta hold it until somebody comes through, you know, or
Does
shines
something.
from that. Oh, we got some basketball in there now. Who is that?
Dominique.
For the
Is that-
Clippers?
Yep. And the Celtics.
I've never seen that.
That's my.
Well, it's no longer a.
Yeah. How many people are watching?
I think I picked up maybe 2 or
We'll
3
all keep
cards.
a secret.
That's about it.
Hey, if for any reason though, you know, we make it big time, people are gonna go back and watch it and be like, so Dave was the one.
So we've been talking about stuff, you know, that we might be looking at or stuff that we would want to buy. Are any of us in a selling mood? Like, do we see opportunities to? There you go. That's basically a generalization of what most of your audience looks like Neanderthal, like, you know, guys. It's,
That's
see some color.
Jace. That's Amaro. Number 5, Dave.
Pretty much the whole rainbow minus the
Super.
gold. Yeah, and I'd have to check. I don't even know if I've got the super. Black.
Dave and his random PCs.
I got a couple of them.
Yeah, I'll sell this card for $1 million. Anybody?
What is that?
Anybody? It's
Maybe,
a Kobe
let me see
Jam.
it.
It's not.
I mean,
think it's
your asking
99,
price might
2000.
be a little high.
I forget what's the name of the Jamboree is the insert set out of Encore. It's just a pretty card. So as I've been sorting through my basketball stuff, I've pulled out, you know, all the Jordans and Kobe's and stuff like that.
Ooh.
Is that embossed?
Is that the silver refractor?
Mm-hmm. It showed Steve.
Uncommon?
That's a dang nice.
Vinny, I'm feeling like we should all just be showing cards now and not talk. Oh,
That was a steal, Dave. For $10.
Yeah, that's
Is that the stubble?
Yeah. Number to 1,500.
Vinny, are there any years of Lemieux that like you've got those set of years like knocked out? Like Steve kind of keeps track of his Terrell Davises by year. Like I've got 98% of the 96s. Or
Wow.
I'm just curious for player collectors how they keep track of their stuff. I do a spreadsheet for Meadows.
He's
feel
misplaced his list.
I feel like John Travolta in what you call it, where he just kind of looks around and says, "Where's that coming from?" Yeah, I have no idea, but I was working on my list last night about 3:00 when I couldn't sleep, and I'm going through Upper Deck right now because there's a lot of work for Upper Deck because despite what everybody says, it's just not Upper Deck. It's Upper Deck Legends, Upper Deck Retro, Upper Deck Power Play, Upper Deck.
Keep going. MVP or
SP Authentic, game used. So right now I'm constructing a list of I have my main list, but I'm writing down as I go through everything, all the cards that I want to get. Most of it doesn't include mem or autographs unless it's specific.
Look at this dude pulling out an essential credentials.
well, no,
Is that Vlad
just the credential.
or Rondell White?
So, yeah, it's Vlad.
It's number to 100.
No,
Oh.
these are.
Oh, okay.
I wish, but then.
Spectrum.
Mm-hmm. And that one is.
So, do you guys know the name Ty France?
No, I don't.
Yeah, the name sounds familiar. I don't know why, but
Refracted.
Yeah, so two years ago, a friend in the community, he lived in El Paso, Texas, and went to like 60 minor league games a year or whatever. And it was from the Padres minor league team. And Ty France was part of that. So he just mentioned his name about a guy that, like, you know, he's going to a lot of games. He loves baseball. He just sees something special. And I'm, well, okay. So I ended up buying his update black for like $18 or something, you know. And then I didn't. It's one of those ones you buy and you put in a box because a friend you trust sort of just says he saw something in the guy. You know what I mean? Cool. And yeah, I guess he's crushing it in spring ball right now. So like that, I think the black, there was one that sold for like 170. You know, I'm like, all right, but I'm into it for 18. I'm not ready to like cash out just because it's, you know, 10 times right now.
Right.
So I bring it up not to brag, but it's just like I need to sort of have those things to keep me like to get a win, so to speak. I know I count it as a win right now because I got a good feeling about it, you know, something you just kind of forgot about and then stumbled across. Oh my goodness, this guy's actually like crushing the ball right now. But so I think as much as I like to be in the here and now, you got to have some kind of things to think of that future collection. Like, what is it going to look like? Or guys to be excited about, cards to be excited about, you know, going forward. I love Top Series 1 this year. I'm opening a lot of it just when I can find it. I'm enjoying collecting the rookies, you know, hearing what other people that are more plugged in than I am talk about who might be this guy and who might be that guy. And we'll all be wrong in 3 years from now.
Right. I'm not a baseball guy,
So
and I've been enjoying
you bring up that, Steve, and I want to ask you this. So you hear everything that's going on with baseball and Acuna and Soto and Tatis and all that, and I heard you say you didn't have any of their rookies. Is that true?
That is true.
So, dude, I'm gonna hook you up because you got to have at least one of each in your collection.
I've never been a base. We
Right.
don't have to do that, Bob.
But I've never been a hockey guy, but I know I like Wayne Gretzky and stuff. I mean, I know you're the Oracle, so that kind of doesn't apply to you.
Far from it. But on the flip side, you know, it's one of those in which just because I can't afford hobby these days, and I'm very few people.
Yeah.
But it's one of those in which it's no longer about the sport for me when it comes to being able to open something. I've opened a blaster and 2 hangers of 2021 Series 1. I plan on finishing the set, but I want to build it. I don't want to buy the stuff. I want to build it.
That's fun. I like doing that too, man.
Yeah, I found a couple packs of Contenders Draft basketball, few packs of Contenders football, plus all the retail stuff that, you know, Vinny has sent me. Those are sets that I plan on putting together. Those I'm not going to sit there and go like try and buy retail stuff to build them. I'll buy lots and stuff along those lines. But 2021 Topps is still being actively produced. So I feel like I have a chance to where I could actually build that. Have you not opened that yet?
Yeah.
Why not? I'm just curious, and I'm not going to tell you to. How'd you score those? Well, I know how you scored them. You found them on eBay, but
No.
you found
those are from Blasters, right?
Yeah, blasters.
Oh, you're just sitting on them?
I mean, I know
The medallion cards.
Yeah,
They're usually hit or miss for me. I did like last year's with the rookie card, kind of bringing back that, but I don't know. These 70-year baseball, it's just a big. I don't know. They are what they are. Manufactured patch deals or whatever.
That's been my best pull so far.
Ooh,
Pache.
Is that the yellow?
It is
Or the
the
gold?
Walgreens yellow. It's the yellow. It's the Walgreens yellow.
That's even. That's a tough one, man. Very nice.
And then there's this one. Sorry, not to take away from you, Vinny. So it's a short print, but it's one of those in which,
that
and I
biased?
know, yes. But what I find interesting, and of course I know I can go look, but I'd need a magnifying glass to see this. There is less of this card on eBay, and it's only listed as a short print than the other one that's listed as the super short print.
Is it 30 or 31 on the bottom? Like the last two numbers.
Dude, I can't read that.
13 is the regular.
13
like,
is regular.
I'll see if I can.
This one is this is just a short print, and it's the last two numbers are 30. That Harper was 31, which made the super short print.
I'll have to see if I can snap a close enough picture and then zoom in on it without it being too blurry.
You are so old, man.
You're younger than me, Steve. Get your eyes checked. Nah, I'm legally blind right now. Once I do this.
Yeah, I don't know what
So-
legal it's
So where's the number I'm supposed to be looking at, or where specifically on the card is it?
So the very bottom, at the very last wordage of all is a number.
Yeah, it'll say www.tops.com, then it'll say code number CMP043213 is your base. 30 is the SP31. So the final two numbers are the super short.
And then they do an occasional super short print.
Super duper super.
So this is 30.
Okay, so short print.
Nice.
But yet, like I said, there's less of these on eBay than there is the other one. Which is originally I thought it would be interesting that, maybe somebody screwed it up. So at least now.
That's Stephen Davis?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I just got a nice Stephen Davis auto from a fellow collector. Very nice.
Can't see it, of course, but that's. I have to kick 90s Barry Sanders or whatever on the dick on Instagram because when he showed the Eddie George like that.
The 101, the personal collection.
I'm like, I haven't seen those before. I must go look. Because I knew the T3 collectors at T3 had basically from the photo shoot, it was basically a senior photos for your yearbook. It's like anytime they moved, they took a picture. So you have probably upwards of 15 for some of the top picks, a red ink autograph noted as a 1 of 1, but it could be like Bob Lewis doing this, then this, then this, then this. And then, every pose conceivable in like a minute worth of like poses could happen. Vinny, what do you got? I see something.
Hmm?
Do you have something you're showing? Or no?
No, I can show. Hold on. So, Dave, if you had this or notice this little, see it right there? This is hot pack. So they had this, and then they had the regular one. The regular one for 20. They had this for like 5 starting bid. Wouldn't you go with this one from the hot pack?
I'd go for both because
Well, I have the other one too, but
because I know that hot pack, the whole set came in the pack.
Yeah. So it's
That-
like cheating. Like they're not as cool because you didn't work as hard to get it. I know.
It was the same for I think 95 Ultra Football, the all rookie team or something.
Absolutely. Yep, all rookie team. I got
Because
it. And I was like, I thought those would be so much cooler. And then I'm like, wait, this isn't even worth as much. Thanks, Beckett.
Yeah, I have both of them too for Trail Days.
Oh,
So
But,
this is what you were talking about, right? The Lindros gold.
Yep. That's a
Nice.
sick patch there.
And that was under $10.
Dang.
Dave only deals in sick patches.
And this was off of I think the '90s Facebook group of baseball, the Diamond Producers, which was a case hit for
Ooh.
Frank. I did not have that, and thankfully the guy had another card so I could bundle. It was a Johan Mystique rookie for 10.
Ooh. Wow, I don't have his.
And then I
Man,
did.
he was everything for a couple years there, man. Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, you already showed that in the video.
I know. I've got another one coming. I got another one for cheaper than what I got the first one, Vinny.
Hey, Dave, remember how you said it's hard to find these leaf boxes?
It is.
I scored this one. This
Was
is
that-
the retail. Because what you get is sweaters away at home, leather and laces, gold leaf rookies.
Fire and ice.
Yeah, there's your difference. Your fire on ice.
And
Now, the chances of Mario Fire on Ice are in here slim to none. But dang it, I'll get it some way, somehow.
So you're
Yeah.
saying there's a chance?
Yep. I know two people that have it.
Adrian.
And
That's
these are
a nice
all,
one.
I think, either $1 or $1.50 from a fire sale from a guy that used to work at the card shop in Virginia like 20 years ago. So I was like, well, if he's got these all for like $1, the Ultra, the Upper Deck, the SSD, or the hobby version of Momentum.
Yep.
I'm like,
It's a good looking one. This is the Skybox Emotion Intense for hockey. Cam Neely.
Yeah. Sorry, Matt, again for that.
His ass, Seabass. Seabass. Oh,
Oh,
here we
Carl.
go. Look at that one.
Oh,
That's the
SP.
die cut.
die cutting Ginla. His stuff's got to be undervalued still, I think.
Yeah.
There's a guy on Instagram, Mr. GSCH or GCH. He's got a killer Jerome collection. It is phenomenal.
Tori.
I think I got those for like
Ooh.
$13 shipped. I've got,
I don't know if I got them.
and I was
Which-
happy.
There's a French one.
Which version do you have? That's what I was getting ready to ask. Which version do you
Yeah,
have, Bob?
I just said, here's the French one. Oh, that looks like a 9. I'm grading it. Actually, yeah, that's. You mean you can't tell unless you read the language, right? That's the only way. So is this the one that there's? No, that's not. Is it 91? There's like 3 versions of it or something.
The
Yeah.
91, 92, there's US, Canadian, and standard. There's 3 different versions where Brodor's not in there, but Lemieux is.
Thankfully.
He has 3 cards. One's purple, one's blue, and I think one's red, if memory
Yep,
serves
that's
me
it.
right.
So these 91s, they both have the double flags on them. I didn't realize
Yep.
that.
Yeah, I'm
Interesting.
thankful I got my PSA 9s out of the way real early on in collecting last year.
Good idea.
I think I spent $11 for each version. I was like, okay, and it's going to cost as much as it was then to grade the card to buy it. I'm basically fine with that.
I think. Wait, you mentioned those hot packs. Didn't these silver skates also have like where you could get the whole set in one pack as opposed to opening them, or
Those
It was
that
a
true?
mail-in. It was a mail-in.
the whole thing, right? But was
Yep.
that the only
No.
way you could get them, or could you open a pack and get a single one of these?
You can open a pack and get a single. Then there was a mail-in for. There was 2 versions.
That you
There was
got
a
the whole
high and
set.
low.
Yeah.
There was a Lemieux one,
Oh.
which was in one set. Gretzky was in
H1.
the other one. Hobby
Is it
versus
hobby and
retail.
retail, right?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, that's what it was.
So
But then,
there's
Vinny, I want to say, do you know this? Is this
Yes.
So is this a big set of cards that has like a lot of different Lemieux in it?
yes, it's 20 odd cards.
So
Yep,
this
I have that
is
set.
R4 and R2. What is it?
I think
You
it's
have
in the
it?
game. Yeah. I have a whole set.
That's one of those things like when you got a player collector who's years and years into it. So, friends want to help you. Like, I want to get one that you don't have, but it's like nearly impossible. Like for me to find a Josh Johnson that Dave doesn't have or a Terrell Davis that he doesn't, you know what I mean? It's like, it's really hard. So it is what it is. But you like doubles, right?
I was gonna say, Bob, if you ever find stuff like that that's numbered 1 of 1, those would be greatly appreciated. Welcome to those.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
If you notice it goes missing, you'll know what happened.
I'll be pissed because you'll have been an alien and not have talked to me.
Yeah. Dude, I told my dad the other day, I think when we were chatting a while back, I just happened to I Google mapped my house to Ely, and it said it was going to take me like 19 days to walk there or something. I was like, okay, might be a little chilly, but I could do it. It'd be worth it.
Good point, Joe. I forgot about that. The color of the score.
Them damn Canadian spellings.
Oh, no way. Who said that comment?
The doctor.
Joe, you the man. I see it now. I see it now. He actually looks more Canadian in this picture too, which is weird.
Would you care to explain that comment, Bob?
No, I'm just going to let it hang out there in the ether. Well, I think I shared that one before, but I love these cars, man. Those Z teams, there's just so much going on in there. That's the berry.
Yeah.
But I don't think the footballs are as. I think the hockey ones carry the most premium of those.
Yep, they do.
By far.
I want to see if this one can catch the light. I don't know if it won't do it. But these hollow FX from SB
It's an
Authentic.
SP though.
Yeah, if you look on
yeah.
my Instagram, if you catch out with the light, it looks like it's on fire. It's just, and there's a die cut of that.
I think it was Paul that took a shot of like a card, like 3, was it the trilogy or whatever? But he took it. It was so much shine, and it's so tough to catch. You got to took it in three different camera angles to sort of catch it. That was a good idea. Some of these cards, cameras just don't do them justice.
No.
Yep.
No, I don't know if anybody answered. You guys aren't really selling anything at this point, right?
I will be.
Like trying to
at
see
some
Mark.
point.
I know Vinny's not. You will be at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I probably have
Yeah.
to
When is that?
make some more, or at least update the sale videos. I've still got Jamal Murray auto rookies. I've still got Jokic rookie autos. There's still a lot of stuff I could sell.
And his stuff has
Still
gone
bummed
up
I
a
didn't
little
snag
bit
that
more
prism.
too, isn't it?
Jokic is still stupid.
Dude, still kicking myself. I saw that prism. I was like, I know that's gonna be like actually probably by the time the video uploaded, it had already gone up like $20 more, So
Yeah, I couldn't
Oh, well.
believe it. And that's all stuff that I got so cheap because again, I'm like, okay, European, I like the Nuggets. I'll take a flyer. Jamal Murray, he's okay at.
he's your Ty France.
Yeah, just Siakam. That now again this year they've been dog shit, but I was able to cash out last year where.
Yep.
That's what, man.
It's like, okay, what if a sale goes at $2,000, or what if one sale goes at 25? It's like, I don't care. If I can get like in that 1,800, which I got, I'll take it because again, I've got 10 to 15 into it.
Yep.
There's one for you, Dave. The ringleader Wah. You got that right. That's one of those like low end sets that just looks like it should be more expensive.
Very much so. And same with like I know people say that the 95 baseball one It's like, oh, it's too busy. There's too much going on. It's like, well, go. You got a
That's
lot
an
of
oldie.
eagle on there, and like the rings and what's that?
Teddy
Is,
ball game.
is that serial numbered?
It's. I think this is the. This is like the yellowing variation. Yeah, the dirty back variation. I think. Yeah. But okay. So this is. I collect Austin Meadows. I don't know if you guys know that. And cards. He hasn't really. I mean, I can put it. He didn't really do much last year at all, and there's no reason that like his stuff should be going up. But things that I picked up, and this was like I'm glad I did it when I did. His super short print update rookie in a 10. There was a raw copy up there and there was a 10, and there were like $20 difference, I'm like, so all right, I'm gonna make sure I'll just go for the 10 at that point. And now there's one on eBay and the guy wants like $500 for it. So now I can be happy for that. But it's like, man, there's probably a lot of other things that I probably should have bought then that would definitely be more of a sure thing. But you know what? I enjoy collecting my guy because he just checks a lot of boxes for me, and I know the talent's there. The guy can stay healthy. I mean, he could be an all-star season in 2019. So we'll see. I'm not like, I don't have tens of thousands into him, so it's just a guy. It's still easy and affordable for me to collect right now, but that does worry me that if he does if he catches on and people start collecting him, then I'll be priced out of most of the stuff, which that would probably be upsetting,
Yeah, that's a good point, Bob.
So it's like a double-edged sword. I want my guy to do well because I'm, he's my dude, but I also want to I want to continue to be able to collect him. Hey, Vinny, does Lemieux have many releases now? Is he still getting cards in modern issues?
Yes, Carlos will agree with Madonna. He is in more releases now than you could shake a stick at. Tons. He's in the Legend series. Madonna's there. Was there. Brodor's in stuff. Belfour's in some stuff. Iserman's in a lot. Messier, Gretzky. They're all the legends. Even back to Gordie Howe. A Gordie Howe jambalaya sold the other day for like ridiculous money. I think it was like $600 or $700. Because House of Cards was looking to try to finish that set. Because he has almost all the jambalaya sets for hockey, which is crazy.
Do you know the Instagram, or do you know the channel? Do you know Dwayne Ground Zero?
Yep.
I don't know if you've seen him. Yeah. Have you seen his Lemieux jambalaya?
Which one?
So it's the buyback autograph. No, there's only two. There's only two of them.
Oh, okay.
Just one of those ones. It's like, man, I can admit that I'm jealous of that one.
I have one. I've shown it on the show. It was the three jambalayas: Malkin, Lemieux, Crosby. The guy made me an offer for $50 a piece, and I'm sitting there at my daughter's softball game, and I'm like, did I just what? I did. And I'm like, well, there goes that. And I hit the button and I bought it now. Probably the smartest acquisition I have ever done. So now I think I have two Malkin jambalayas. I have one Crosby, one Lemieux, and I got a couple other guys. I just lost out on a Dotsic one for 115. But I was just watching it.
Oh, McGrady.
That's a nice one.
Just the refractor, right? Yeah. Was that your Atomics? Did they have like the checks? It was the checkerboard one, right?
Yep.
Oh, those are slick.
Wow.
They did those for hockey.
That's the gold Iverson.
That's the gold.
This one,
Yeah. Oh, where's that one? I found a cool Jordan the other day that was.
that's the atomic.
Yeah.
I pulled this.
Ooh.
Wow. That's a pretty solid pull.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Yep.
PSA 10s keep going up on that card too because that's rookie year.
I found this guy. The
Ooh.
Topps Archive 92, 93 Topps Archive Jordan, but it's the gold one with
The
the gold
gold.
stamp.
Yep.
But what a great picture, man.
Yep.
What's that one, Dave?
Oh.
10.
Ooh,
The gold. I like gold.
I like gold.
I like gold.
You have to do that.
I like gold.
That's nice. That's
It's
chunky.
not a patch, but it's my only Carmelo.
My sister met Carmelo Anthony and got me an autograph from him way back. Side note. Yeah.
Now we'll get into a couple okay patches.
Okay patches. That's one of the Dumbo ones you recently showed.
Yep,
Cool.
that was the most recent. This might be
Colossal.
my best one.
Oh,
Oh wow.
oh.
That and solid.
That one's decent.
Decent. Period. Decent.
To 5,
Wow.
and then also to 5.
I don't know, man. Those all look pretty sick to me.
Just decent.
I
They're
got
just
one,
decent.
two sitting on ComC. And I know there's one that the guy that fucking swiped the rug out from under me had that I would have loved to have too, but I'm gonna have to put it in the Minnesota Wild group, all that shit. And hey, you got Dumbas, bring them to me. Don't bring them to anybody else, idiots.
Ooh, there's a nice Duncan ring. I like them ones.
Ooh,
EX.
EX.
Nothing special.
Nothing special.
I mean, it's not one of the parallels or anything.
Doesn't matter. That's rookie year, isn't it?
It
that
is,
rookie?
but those are pretty undervalued. I think these are under $20. These are like $20, $25. They're not too bad.
Now
That's a beautiful card.
now they are. They'll go up just because the appreciation of 97.
So we were talking about
Yeah,
the
when does that
fakes
happen?
last
Is that
week.
over the summer?
What?
The whole NBA induction stuff?
Oh, I think so.
I think so, yeah.
We'll see
But
a little.
This was from last
What is
week.
that?
So when they did the reprint rookies of Waugh, LaFontaine, Lemieux, this is the little gold emblem
Nice,
that they
okay.
put on them. We were talking about the fakes last week. That's a good thing Topps did for the hockey. And it says Patrick Waugh reprint, I believe, Topps. And then on the back, it looks like that year, but look at the purple at the bottom.
Yeah.
That designates it not being that. I just thought
I think I had a.
he's supposed to be good.
Yeah.
I'll show a baseball
that-
card.
There's the regular one, right? So you're saying it doesn't have that the purple at the
Yeah.
bottom, right?
Correct.
Card
Yep.
number 1.
Yep. That's 89-90. Brett Hall's
That's one of my favorite years of hockey.
Yep.
I don't know why. It reminds me of 85 Topps. It's got like the the pin push, the punch pin.
So Bob, you've already been starting to
Like-
spend some of that stimuli money.
I have some of the other pickups. I mean, I can tell I don't have them. They haven't come in yet, but I did grab a Yelich PSA 10 rookie. I grabbed the Gleyber Torres short print rookie from 2018 Topps. The other one to the bat down Acuna. I just said if that's his rookie, that's his main rookie. If Gleyber, I'm not ready to write him off. I mean,
No.
it's kind of the same situation as Meadows. The guy is like under 25 and he's had a 30+ home run season under his belt already. Last year was sort of a I'm not ready to write him off. So he's markets down. Same with Yelich. I picked him up because I think they got a lot of talent, stay healthy and things like that. I mean, the investment amount was worth it to me. So, because it's just free government money anyways, right? So those were ones I did. What else did I get? Just some other. It's mostly just some Meadows filling out some gaps and holes, but it's kind of I mean, it's a different way of like hobbying, just like, okay, I didn't have this money. Because it can't always be like that. That's impossible. So it's like I have to kind of make some moves. Now, there's probably a school of thought out there that's like, whatever you spend on all these 10 or 12 cards, should you have just bought one nice big card? I don't know, but I'm happy with what I bought, and but there was. I would say it was more 80% like personal collection and 20%, let's take a shot at. Because I mean, I collect Gleyber Torres, I collect rookie cards of hot star players and hot players, So if he would continue to be that, I'd be happy to have a bunch of his rookies, and if I had an opportunity to get his best rookie in a PSA 9 for a fair price, seemed like a good time to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. And again, when you have people that say, well, you should have bought the one big card. Maybe. But if I'm happy, if I'm happy, who the fuck cares?
Because I'm in the market for a 56 Topps Roberto Clemente. I'd like to get it in a slab. I'm not opposed to raw vintage, but at least when I said I wanted to do the Clemente run, I wanted to get at least the first two cards slabbed up. So, but I think that in a mid, in a low grade is still, a few $100 or, $400 or $500. I don't know. But I know that those cards are out there,
Mm-hmm.
I'll get the card, and if it ends up being raw, just because I'm priced out of anything graded, so be it. That's for me and for me alone. I don't care. It's my pirate collection, so I think when I'm selling stuff, I usually do. I have a double of it? No. Okay. Do I have anything else of that person noteworthy? Like, so I had the scoring Kings Jordan, right, and a PSA 8, and I had a raw copy to back it up. So I sold my 8 because I was like, I got this raw, so I still got it. I sold it during the last dance, nice little chunk of change, and then I was still happy, and then the market was still hot. And Bob and the family, it was a tight month. Okay. What do I got that I know will sell instantly? That card. Well, it's my last one, but I still have a Jordan rookie. So I can get rid of that. Like, I feel like as long as there's some way that I can, in my head, justify like the purchase and be okay with it. Like, sure, I love that card. I miss it. I wish I could still look at it, but I'd rather look at his rookie card and know that I still have that in my collection. So it's kind of one of those deals.
Have you decided what you're going to do with said rookie?
I haven't, man. I brought that up on Carla's show the other night. Like, the consensus seems to be do whatever you can to get it in a PSA slab, even if it's just authentic. And I think that's where I'm at with it right now too. Just not enough out there with the new guys on the block, you know, CSG or HGA. That's it, HGA, right? Is that the newest one with the AI component to it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't, what that really looks like. I don't know, but
We'll never know.
Yeah, and I was thinking, maybe a company that does the subgrades like a Beckett or whatever. But I feel like Beckett is such a dinosaur now in the hobby. I know it has a little bit of cred with basketball and Bowman Chrome first and things like that. So in a roundabout way, I'm going to answer the question with the first answer I gave. I'm going to do everything I can to get it back to PSA and get it in a slab that says authentic. If I have to pay the grading fee again, so be it. But I'm hoping if I can communicate with them and maybe they'll work with me. We'll see.
Well, and I posed the question, and nobody had a definitive answer. I would think that pricing for just to get it in a slab as authenticated should be less than grading, because they're not really grading the card. It's looking at it to validate it's authentic,
Sure,
and putting it in a slab. But then
no,
again,
I think if I could, yeah. Just if you've already evaluated it and this was your determination, I'll send it to you in this the semi-rigid that you sent it back to me in. So what would you charge me to just put it in a slab authentic? Because I forgot to check a box.
Mm-hmm.
well, because you didn't think about it at the time, you were actually hoping that it was going to be gradable.
Mm-hmm.
Never crossed my mind that it wouldn't be, because I had heard that there were. If you had a card in your screw down for a number of years, maybe it compressed it a little bit and they're going to chalk that up to altered stock and not grade it. But I had cards that, my mantle and my 58 mantle and 58 Clemente were in the same kind of holders. They graded those, no problem. I don't feel like I screwed the Jordan any tighter than those ones, but it is what it is. I don't. Here's the thing. I sent it there. They came back. I deal with what they say. You know what I mean? I'm not a guy that's going to complain that PSA screwed me over. I know what I'm getting into when I signed up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Still doesn't mean it doesn't suck.
Oh, it sucks. It sucks royally. But that's
There
all
you
right.
go, Bob. That's a 2021.
I'm a YouTube Hall of Famer. Nice. Still looks good, man. He could probably still play.
Vinny's favorite product.
How long do you think Crosby will play for, Vinny?
2 to 3 more years. I think
2 to 3 or 3 to 4?
2 to 3. I think they need, if they can,
Oh,
they need to restructure the team and have a lot of those guys take pay cuts to keep a valid team out there. So, Malkin, unless he wants gone, he's going to have to take a pay cut. Crosby's going to have to take a pay cut if you want to do what's best for the team. If not, you're going to see what happened with Yager and Kovalev back in the 90s. They're going to sell them off, and they're going to start again, which I hate to see because we've been through that once. I'd like to see where we restructure in a manner through the draft, but it's going to be hard because we're always good enough not to get that top tier.
Yeah,
player.
right.
So like the Red Wings right now, which is my other team, they're sitting in line where they're pretty bad. They're winning probably 50% of their games, but they're stacking draft picks. And definitely, if anybody could do it through the draft, the Red Wings can do it through the draft. I mean, the Penguins did it with they got what? They got Fleury, Crosby, and then Malkin, and then Stahl.
Yep.
So
Even Stahl. I count Stahl too. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Those
was
four
incredible
guys.
time.
Then they got Letang in one of the drafts in a later round. So
I remember coming home from college. We had DirecTV or something, and all these, ESPN 8 or whatever, and they had the hockey draft like lotto coverage on. I was unaware of any of this at the time, that there was this kid named Sidney Crosby who was the next thing. And, the fact that it was bizarre to me to see this coverage of this. I didn't even think hockey was still a sport at the time. And so that was kind of a cool thing. And from that moment, that's when it wasn't long after that Katrina happened, and they did like a relief effort at the rink. And I went down. I was working 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. and I literally just like walked straight over there, got in line, went to the shop, bought a hockey puck, and then got it signed by him. So that's like my one Crosby thing that I like, that I had, that'll just be kind of in my collection forever. Don't have you got a Young Guns, Crosby?
nope.
Vinny?
No, I do not. I was out of collecting at that time.
What about you, Dave? What's your best Young Guns? You got an Ovechkin?
No.
No.
As much as I like those, I never got into focusing on them.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have a exclusive Niskanen 100, but that's just because he played an hour away from me and I coached against him in football. So,
in hockey, after the Young Guns in hockey, what is in your opinion, the next sought after rookie, 2 and 3? You got your Tops and Chrome and maybe
Future
Heritage.
Watch.
What
Future
SP Authentic, yep.
Future Watch Auto.
is that one, or is Young Guns one?
Close.
Yeah.
It's dollar wise for all collectors, it's probably Young Guns. For the long haul, for the people that want to go to the top, it's Future Watch.
Yeah. Are all Future Watches autos?
No.
Numbered though.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they are numbered. What about Ultra? I just saw a Connor McDavid Ultra rookie. It looked like a cool card, but I didn't know. I don't know. I feel like I want to try to get these guys now. Now, I probably should have got them 5 years ago, but 3 years ago.
Looking to diversify.
Yeah, that's really it. That's why I've got into hockey the last couple of years. 1, it was the only thing I could find at the stores to open. 2, I was having fun opening it, and now it's kind of like a Bowman product. I don't know any of these guys, but I'm interested in learning about them as they mature in their careers,
Yeah, there's two guys out of this year's Series 1, and I didn't even know it until I started following a guy on Instagram who was about Asian hockey players. And there's the Roberts brothers, one for Toronto and one for Dallas. They're half Filipino. So I'm trying to get Naomi. I'm like, hey, look at these guys. These guys are the Philippine blood, and they're playing the hockey. They're playing NHL hockey. And she's like, well, is there a hockey rink in the Philippines? I'm like, well, there's a skating thing at their big mall over there in Manila, Mall of Asia. And She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I've been there before. I've seen it. So I do not want her to play hockey because I'm not going to pay for that equipment. Most of the parents need to get kicked in the face because they think their kids are going to be the next McDavid or Austin Matthews or Draisaitl. It's like, no, your kid can barely skate, and just because you got a couple extra checks in the checkbook doesn't mean they're better than anyone else. So it's fun to find that. I don't think I'd do what Matt did with the goalies or even like the forwards or defensemen. I just that the stories are there because you have a lot of draft picks that did not pan out, like a Matt Lashoff for Boston or somebody like that, where it's like, man, he was supposed to be a monster and he's a monster disappointment. He always brings up Leland Irving for Calgary. I remember all the NHL, whatever it was, the yearly guide, like, hey, here's the schedule, here's your roster, here's your like top 10 prospects. I'd read all that stuff. That's how I'd learn about them. But to put the money into it now and to keep going forward, I'd be like, that it just A, it doesn't interest me. B, there's just too many. It's like Bowman with the first year autos. Yeah, you can get the Trout. Yeah, you can get a Soto or a Tatis or somebody. I know a Syndergaard.
Right.
But you can also get like a Brian Taylor type or something like that. So I don't want to spend all that money. And plus, I like the UD Ice. That's another one of my favorites because it's another tiered, serial numbered rookie. You have like the top ones, usually the 99, and those are the rarest, obviously. Then you have, I think it's like a 499 and then a 999. There might be some at 299, but it varies on years. But that's what I like. I like where something serial numbered. It's like, okay, Austin Matthews is to 99. That's gonna suck to buy because that's gonna be a ton. The Ultra, that's I think to 499. If not, it's like $6.99 or $9.99, and that's the cheaper one. I picked that one up. I think I don't know. Jeremy on Sports Cards Live. I don't know, several months ago. I think November was mentioning that, and I'm like, okay, I'll check that out right now because if I don't, I will forget about it. And there's one on eBay for $20. Buy it now. So I hit it. I'm like, okay, $25, price of a blaster that I can't find anywhere. You may as well try it. So I like it. I like the young guns, but I don't. It's very rare that they hit to that degree where it's like, man, there's an Ovechkin, there's the Matthews, there's the McDavid. It's tough to forecast that in your ROI. It's going to be tough. Future Watch, you have a finite number. The UD Ice, if you can afford or get a cup. If you
No
can
worries,
afford
Bob.
Yeah.
Oh, who's a good boy? Pick one of the three. They're all staring at me.
And I have one young gun, and I couldn't even tell you who it is.
Yes. I was thinking
Throwing that
about
out there.
I think I've got Alex Goligoski because he played at Grand Rapids up here. Whatever I broke out of the tins that I got, I think I got a Pavel Francoeurs, whatever the backup goalie for Colorado. I got him. And I'm Max Domi, I've got him somewhere. But again, it's nothing I go actively looking for. Now those Robertson guys, I'm going to try to pick up the one for Dallas because I think he's doing a little better than the one in Toronto. But at the same time, this isn't something where I'm like, oh, I got to super collect them. It's like, no, I'll pick up a couple cards and that'll be Naomi's collection. Just her way. So, but yeah, it's hockey. There isn't that consensus. Like now it seems to be Tops or Tops Update. That whatever that rookie card is, that's where 5 years ago it was Bowman Chrome Draft. You wanted that card of the young players. Hockey, it just depends on what tax bracket you're living in. You can afford the cup, you're probably going to go after that one. If you can afford the Future Watch, because they've got that black parallel too, you're gonna go after those. Young Guns, you've got exclusives, you've got high gloss, the acetate you've got, and the canvas. So you've got stuff to chase. So it just depends on the price and what tickles your fancy. So it's fun.
But for hockey, I mean, you could go. So Allure last year, you had the rip off. I shouldn't say down. The credentials. What did they call it? It wasn't credentials. Was it credentials? They look like contenders. Yeah, it was credentials that look like contenders. It's gonna be interesting the rest of the night, guys.
Well, we are coming up the 3 hour mark though, Vinny.
Here.
So
and
you timed it just right.
No, it's good. But and then you have artifacts, hobby, as opposed to, because you don't want to get into the retail versions of artifacts because you won't find much. And I've proven that with my own break of retail, whether it's blaster or the retail boxes, you don't get much of anything. SP Authentic, we talked about. SP Game Used. I'm trying to think of what else. It's pretty much it. I can't think of anything. You mentioned ice. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else?
Well, they've got Ingrained. I don't know what's
Ingrained. Yeah, Ingrained has it. So those are numbered. The rookies to $9.99.
You can go really low end and go MVP.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of the different parallels now because it's not just superscript. It's the black 1 to 5 now. Yep. So
then they've added to that then too.
Silver script, gold script. Superscript, gold script.
Silver, gold, super, black, I would think.
And now there's a green. Yeah. And then there's colors and contours, which is a parallel that you can get.
Yep. Because then there's one numbered to what? There's a non-numbered, and there's 21 or something I've seen. And again, I don't know how they're picking the numbers, but
Pacific card generator.
Pretty much.
Somebody should have been able to call bingo on that one.
That was a good one.
Speaking of Pacific, everybody see Matt's Essential Credentials post?
The 27th, man. It's going to be epic. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be good.
I'm going to have to make sure I want to catch that one live if I can. Just for the simple fact of the appreciation.
Yep. And then for poke checking cards, and probably in a couple of weeks, he's going to try to have Gene on. We had that pre-discussion with, it was me, Matt, and Miles talking about the questions about Fleer. So that's going to, if you haven't seen it on the Essential Credentials, go back and watch it. It's fantastic, the stuff she answers. And then this time we're going to go the hockey route, and that should be an interesting one.
And then eventually we'll try to get him on here and do football, because I know Steve and I, we are devout Pacific fans, and we've said it numerous times where that's by far my favorite brand. I mean, I love Doofix. I love that, but Pacific and die cuts, that's just, you'd seen back at the full page ad of like, what were the prints, or what was the odds on them, and how many they put there's 20 of today's youngest stars, and foil board die cut, and just like, oh, 1 in 37. Come on, don't give me a Michael West. Come on. So I'm anxious to hear how that interview goes, because as we all know, the Kramer is not a guy that has made himself really available in the last 16 to 20 years. So I want to see how that plays off, and I hope Matt doesn't. I know he wants to keep him short, but at the same time, I'm hoping that if the discussion is going, you don't cut it off, because you don't know if there's something that's sort of brewing or percolating in whoever's mind, that you say something. It's like, okay, we're at the hour mark, we got to go. It's like, well, I had something I wanted to get to, but we're going down that road, and it's like you can't put the brakes before you hit the stop sign. So I just hope that everything flows really well, because I love Pacific. I will always say that. I know you do, Vinny. I know Steve does. Bob loves the Pacific Ocean. So, I mean.
I also have, like I said, I always had a place in the cockles for Fleer. So,
yeah,
92, 93 Fleer Ultra. If it wasn't for that day going to Cuz's Corner and getting those packs, I probably wouldn't have become locked into this hobby. Probably wouldn't be sitting here. So
you got to ask Gene why the dull Captain's Choice design. That's something that I just don't. I know not everything's going to be a smash hit, grand slam, hat trick, Al Bundy 4-touchdown game. But to see like a one case hit, and it's pretty much just a run of the mill card where you're like, oh, that's it. So
it is, for being what it is. What is it? 1 in 360.
Yep.
That is a lackluster card, but I got the Lemieux.
Yep.
And I never thought I got the Gretzky before the Lemieux, and I paid more for Lemieux than the Gretzky. Do that math.
Yeah. And I think I've got Kachuk and Gilmore.
Yep, I know you have the Gilmore.
So it's I always wonder in that thought process why you have a again, it doesn't have to be the most visually appealing, but you want to have some appeal to it. And that was just a basic, like the Will Ferrell meme, where he's like the high school picture where he's looking at the camera and then off, and then just some gold stamping. So it'll be interesting. I love to hear the genius or the creative minds behind the brands of that time, because it was basically an arms race. Like what you got acetate? Well, I've got die cut acetate, and I'm layering gold foil on it. Well, you know what? I've got serial numbering on that foil, plus whatever else, like prismatic foil
and jersey patch. Look at
that. You just every combination of whatever card you can come up with on one card. Did they do it to death? Probably, but at the same time, they gave us a hell of a lot of nice chaseable cards 25 years later. So, yeah, whatever the March 27th, probably mid-afternoon, early afternoon, between noon and 3-ish, I'd say, Central Time, because I know Matt's out there in Alaska, and that's for us in the Central, I think 3 hours. So,
he should be just Pacific Time.
It's
Alaska?
6 hours behind, I think.
It's, I think, another hour behind.
Is it?
It might be 4 to 5 hours.
Well, let's just do a search.
I'm pretty sure Alaska's 4 hours. But I could be
It's
wrong.
3. Unless
Well,
you're in the Aleutian
I was
Islands.
wrong.
Well,
So-
four from them, those guys in the bottom.
Yep.
There you go.
We're Eastern.
So it's 7:14 in Juneau right now. It would be 6:14 in the Aleutian Islands.
Thank you.
So 3 hours.
Interesting point, Carlos. As always.
But not off either. So on that note, no, Ed, not needing anything from Wawa. Not even sure what the heck that is. That must be a Philadelphia thing.
7-Eleven type.
Walmart?
Way.
Wawa?
Wawa is like 7-Eleven, Speedway,
Convenience store,
Circle K.
gas station.
Yep, that kind of deal.
Yeah, I want a winning lotto ticket.
As Bob would know, sweet peas. I could say Pennsylvania stuff, and Bob actually knows what the heck I'm talking about.
Well, and
Oh,
so would
man.
Ed.
Yeah, well, no, Ed doesn't know because he's on the other side of the state.
Dude, that might as well be a different country over there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
What
which is where he actually is. So yeah, 3 hours behind us, Dave and I.
What's the other one we have, Bob? Not Speedway.
Well,
the other
Go.
one.
Sheets.
Sheets. The infamous
Sheets is
Mason
actually
Bear.
it's actually a Pennsylvania company, so
Yeah.
support your local Sheets.
That's easy for me to do. And Steve.
Right. Do you guys know what Eaton Park is?
Place for smiles.
That's what it is. The place for smiles.
In Michigan, we have the
Easy part.
You might have a Perkins. Do you have any Perkins? They're like pretty much like Eaton Park.
they're in southern Minnesota, Perkins, because I frequent one
Okay.
when I travel.
I think there's one near Duluth. So
Sure,
So
I'll
you're
take your word
close.
for it.
Excellent chicken fried steak
see,
for
I'm
breakfast.
But it's not chicken sandwiches.
no chicken fried steak is my favorite.
Yeah,
So-
fried chicken sandwich is a different game.
So DC, there's your chicken sandwich reference. You said it yourself. Somehow, shape, form, or fashion,
It will.
it would come up in conversation at some point.
139, cover your spot.
Ay.
Yeah, Rita's Italian ice. I don't know if it's called water ice, but it's Rita's
Water
Italian.
ice.
Okay, now we're
Rita's
going
is national, isn't it?
Ay.
Is Rita's not a national
I don't
thing?
think so. I haven't seen them other than PA.
What do I know?
Nothing.
Should I invest in Rita's? Is that? Can I bring it back to cards? No.
They opened a Permanis here, Bob,
Nice.
Michigan. So
Okay.
the taste of home. We got our Chick-fil-A a couple weeks ago.
Oh man, you guys are crushing it now.
We
We just got a Popeye's chicken out here recently, man.
I have
Ooh,
five.
there you go. Go get you a chicken sandwich, Bob.
Give me that 4-piece.
Never fails. Never
Stuff and
fails.
things, baby. Stuff and things.
Things and stuff. On that note, Dave.
Yeah, I think we went over most of the stimulus. We got some feedback. We knew it would be a little shorter episode, which is okay. So we've got plenty of lengthy ones. We're starting to finally put together at least a blueprint for the the side project, as it were.
At some point.
Yeah, at some point.
Allegedly.
You gotta
Speaking
throw
of
that
which,
word in there.
did by chance did you pick up the two that we were talking about though? If that's the first thing we're gonna do, have you done that yet?
I got outbid on both of them, which I was shocked. So I'm gonna just probably buy it now with some of the stimulus money and be done with it.
Yeah, because like I said, I have everything else.
And we forgot one too. There's a
We
set.
can talk about it once we go off. Vinny already knows what we're talking about, anyways. Bob doesn't. But we don't want
I
to.
usually don't.
We don't want to we don't want to disclose it to the larger population just yet.
Sure. Especially,
But you can be involved in. Carlos already knows. He was one of the first people that we talked to. About
I'm
it.
the last to know. No, just kidding.
No, everybody
I'm the
else will be
YouTube
the
Hall of
last. to know.
Famer here.
Yeah.
Point being what?
Yeah.
That I have a patch that I probably need to dust off right now. That's
We
all
all know who the commit is, so that doesn't hold much weight. Yeah.
I know
No.
you guys are wrapping up the show, so I'm not going to ask any more questions. So, but because it's it's that time.
Well, what
Did
is
you
it?
guys? No, they had an so other things, other collectible things. If cards are going crazy, is there another way to kind of feed that collecting itch with other, things?
Yes.
Sport, like, cereal boxes and figurines.
That's where we got Bobby on because he's got.
Yeah, this was a question that they asked on Carlos the other night, and he kind of was going through some pretty cool, unique things, and it's more like I'd have to be prepared to. But I've got a lot of little knickknacks, like so this thing right here. I'm just looking at this.
Knick-knack.
Yeah, this is
Trinkets.
this is the Shaq Pepsi thing where each one has like a this is the jammin' bottle, and this is the slammin' bottle. And this is the spinning bottle, So I don't know, like if your guy has random things or regional issues, food and beverage stuff,
Barbecue
whatever
sauce.
the case may be. I mean, the Steelers from the 70s, they got my dad, and I've just acquired that gene of like wanting to collect Iron City beer cans with Jack Lambert on them, stuff like that. There's a lot. Point being, there's a lot of ways to enjoy the hobby. The hobby isn't just cards,
Correct. Would you say there is a plethora of opportunities?
Well, the plethora is probably thinning out. Like especially with starting lineups, I heard the prices of some of those are going up because people are opening up, grabbing the cards out of them and selling.
And grading them.
Yeah, grading them and selling them.
Yep.
Got to get that money.
You're on mute, Vinny.
All that time, all that good speaking, and I was on mute.
So much wisdom dropped.
I was answering, the plethora question. I said, if someone has a plethora, then it has to be Dave. But starting lineups, if you look at the cards inside, depending on where the actual figure was made, some of the cards will say Taiwan and some will say Hong Kong.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I get those.
Variations in the starting lineup cards. I had no idea, man.
When you don't sleep, you read a lot.
Yeah, getting up at 3 a.m. and sorting cards. I guess you got time on your hands.
3 dogs that like to bother the jeepers out of you.
I've got
It's time
one,
for-
and it's a handful.
Time for their dentist sticks yet there, Vinny, or are you already out of them?
Third
The
pack
dental
of treats.
All right, Dave.
So we'll thank everybody dropping by the chat tonight. Always helps us keep that show moving. Hopefully we brought a little laughter, a little knowledge. into your homes tonight. Thank Vinny and Bob for eventually figuring out his internet. Again, if you watch this afterwards, which I don't know how many people do, but if you do, drop it in the comments below what you spent your stimulus money on, home repairs. Give a thumbs up or thumbs down. Doesn't matter. Just give us something. Slam on that subscribe button. Destroy the notification bell. Hit the Patreon, the Discord, the non-existent Facebook fan page.
Everything non-existent that we don't have.
We can set up direct deposits, all that stuff.
Yes.
We can do.
If you don't want that stimulus money, put it in our account.
right.
Super chat. Hit us with a super chat. Bob's chair. We have to thank Bob's chair.
Yes.
Wait. Are you guys super chat eligible?
No, we are not.
Okay, I was gonna say I would have definitely hooked up with super chat by now.
No, I think that all goes in line with the whole 1,000 subscriber stuff. I think that's all part of that. Also, impeach Bob. Let's get it trending.
Impeach Bob, right?
So
No
with that,
scandals here.
What?
I said no scandals here, so hopefully my impeachment is a thing. Yeah. Go ahead. I keep interrupting your ending of the show.
It's all right. So again, tune in next week, 7:05 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll have sort of a holiday edition of the Insert Revolution podcast. It'll morph into a holiday edition, a wordplay, as it were. So remember, collecting cards, absolutely awesome. But the friendships forged in this hobby, that's what it should be about. Good night, everyone.
Good night.